Welcome to the Adobe Lounge located in Boone, Iowa at 915 West Mammy Eisenhower. Our hours are Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to close, Saturday and Sunday, noon to close. Come enjoy some of the strongest drinks in town and the best homemade pizzas around. Whether you're stopping in to relax, meet friends, or grab a bite, the Adobe Lounge is the place to be. See you soon.
That was just like, you guys just gotta go. Rub your tits on everyone and just go. And that is exactly what she did.
She did. Welcome, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And we are on location today at the Midwest Motorsports Expo in Rochester at the Mayo Civic Center. And we're flying kind of solo. G's on location shooting some punting videos, so
Jealous.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Is he in a rainforest somewhere? Do we know where he's at?
If he was in a rainforest, I think Garrett would be dead because he's like super white, you know, and like
He's got the extra red.
you're right. What did anybody ever get the $5 that he put on in the group chat about if anybody could name this? Like, did anybody, or what did anybody?
oh yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I never heard an answer.
Yeah.
I know what I could see in the background of the picture, and I had thoughts going through my head, but I don't think that was
I almost wondered, there was a bunch of dudes in the woods. I didn't know if they were going to like a cult thing,
Yeah. All right, sure.
sausage fest, or what was really going on, but they had some weird shit going on.
Yeah,
in the
right.
woods, okay?
There was no audio. There wasn't any fiddles being played.
Right. And the next video I seen, they were hauling G out in a side-by-side.
In the back.
In the back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he got violated by filming or what he had going on, but it looked like it was a good time anyway.
It's a good possibility either way.
Right.
We hope he's having a good time, and gee, we miss you, buddy.
Well, the weather looked a lot
yeah.
nicer out there than what it does here. They're calling for a bunch of snow. I think a lot of people.
We were in the hotel room, and Josh goes, "It's not good when the Weather Channel is naming the storm that's about to come through."
For today, we have
After Storm Iona or something like that.
to come up with these names. That's what I want to know.
It's a great idea. Somebody gets paid to do that,
I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
right?
I think a lot of I don't know if you guys have been around here right now. There's so many good vendors here at this show, but I think everybody is a little itchy to get out of here, except for like Spike Logue and Bobby at Quick Car. They got to fly home, so they're not leaving till like Monday.
Oh yeah.
They're
It's gonna be a minute.
They're going to be here for a little bit. That Weather Channel, or the Weather Channel bringing in Iona, that's just funny that who would catch that.
Of course.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I think like Green Bay is supposed to get like 30 inches or something.
Yeah, it's insane. Like tons and tons of snow. We're gonna get a little bit down central Iowa, but I don't think it's gonna be near.
That does not hurt my feelings, actually. I'll just say, like, give us a couple more weeks to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
The shop would be, like, great. I mean, I see that Rod's been out there sheep footing, running the grader. There's been some TVs being put up in the VIPs at the racetrack. So, like, things are happening. And so it does not hurt my feelings that the snow's rolling in here. And
Yeah, we did have a chat though with Rod, and he's really working that track for our little shootout for the
is he?
the ass tattoo challenge.
Good.
Because I think we're up to 5 people now. Because I think Colton's in on it.
Oh, is he?
You know, he said at on his podcast that he's already got an ass tattoo. He's not afraid of getting another one. So Garrett's in trouble,
That's awesome.
right?
3 reds versus 2 normals. I'm just telling you guys.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm just saying.
That is one of the first times I've been called normal in my life.
I didn't realize that Carson was a red too until I go over there and he's got the 70s porn stash.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, he grew out the stash, and I'm like, what's going on here?
that's what I asked him. I'm like, where'd this come from? He's like, well, the holidays come in And I was like, it's just my family, so I'm not going to shave it. And the wife was okay with it. I'm like, okay, there was the first mistake. That you made sure it was okay with your wife.
Right.
Yep. You want to grow hair on the upper lip, you just gotta do it. But it looks good on it. Although he is thinning a little bit in the front side.
Well, he's starting to look a little more mature.
He's starting to look a little more like Josh.
Maybe.
And down on the toe, and
it
short on the side.
Happens to the best of us. Curtis Masterson. I saw your comment, bud. Yes, Colton and I, you thought we were the same age. We're not. Yeah, I'm a little more bald than him, but I'm just kidding, Curtis.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's serious. Like when I seen those comments, it made me laugh because, like I said, I thought you guys were not stepdad, stepson.
Right.
Like I did not know that until.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know when I knew that. Until I'll be honest with you, I just thought you guys.
I think we were standing at the window in Boone when you learned it. I think because I remember seeing the look on your face, like, seriously?
Yeah. Well, then everybody's always like, well, how old is that fucking Josh anyway? And I'm like, I think he's 47. He's just 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, he don't look 47.
Hey, and I love that. I'll take that all day long. I love it.
Well, and Colton though too, at 28
He's 30.
or 30.
Yep.
I mean, Colton looks older than 30. No offense, Colton, but like he just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got that nerd, older.
And then more.
He definitely has the red nerd qualities.
The red nerd, yeah,
He's
for sure.
Yes. Yeah, we have red race car drivers, red producers, red nerds. That's
They were all savage in our own little way.
and then normals.
The norms.
The norms.
Like Harry Potter called the Mungles. The Mungles.
You've seen Harry
I've
Potter.
been watching the series. I've been on a kick watching it at night just because, I don't know.
Summer, dude.
Like I haven't watched any forever. Makes me really appreciate my childhood.
Yeah.
Not that I was really a child when that stuff came out, but you know, like we've been watching some Disney, Land Before Time shit. We seen actually Littlefoot walking around here.
You know, I heard,
Harris looking like Littlefoot.
I heard he was running around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
He's got the old squishy cush shoes on, looking like his feet are real comfortable.
Hey, is it weird doing a podcast in front of yourself? Like, I see it on the computer. I'm like, whoa.
It's weird doing a podcast live with this many people here. Like, there's people walking by trying to engage or just talk to us, which is fine. But it's kind of cool, actually. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for maybe a live show sometime or something.
Yep. We'll get this thing dialed in.
How's the traffic over at the Load Fab? It looks pretty busy over there. Is Buck selling cars for you now that you're over here or what?
Buck said maybe 35 words. It would. He called some dinosaurs last night about 2:30.
I heard that might be our mayhem moment.
That might be the mayhem moment because we got to the hotel. We left Lucky's, the place you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I told Cody when we walked in there, when we went to walk into that place, the guy was messing with his boot. And he was like, oh, well, you guys got to wait to get in, you know? And I'm like, didn't we just watch like 4 people walk in? And so like we're standing there like the weird white guys at this bar. Like there's all kinds of shit going on. Drosty and Joel Rust are inside sitting down waiting for us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden another short line of people come walking up and the one guy's like, oh, go ahead and let them in. They're cool. And I'm like, what?
How's that work?
Yeah, I do it.
And he goes, just you? I said, well, he's with me. And he's like, yeah, you guys go ahead.
Yeah, and then he let us in, but he was messing with his boot. But we told you, well, I told Cody to tell you, you just grab his fucking foot. If he ain't gonna let you in, well, let me in. You know,
That's the key.
that was the key.
I never figured it out because I got blocked out and I'm standing in the entrance and some dude started to mess with the bouncer, acted like they were gonna fight, and then some lady flipped him around and kicked the dude square in the balls. So that was my show.
Little action going on.
After Bert Kreischer
Yeah.
damn near rubbed elbows with one of the most famous comedians in America. That was pretty cool.
I hope that he watches this. I'm disappointed he didn't walk in without his shirt on.
You know, but it came off real soon after he was in there.
Yeah, but it just would have been more savage if he would walked in without his shirt on and it's just a stocking hat and shit. Like, and then it got pretty electric in Kathy's pub last night when he started hollering on the radio that he was giving out free drinks and free shots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would say our Moffitt's mayhem was just that whole, because we're trying to get out because it was so packed.
We never even got a beer
Right.
at Kathy's because it was so busy. The only thing that we got was we were standing in line. Us three were standing in line, and there was this very generous gal that was padded up that was just like, "You guys just got to go. Rub your tits on everyone and just go." And that is exactly what she did.
She did.
It was glorious.
I got more action in that walk to the back of the bar and then back to the front than I've had in about 20 years.
Seriously, and it wasn't even wanted attention. It was just, and it was from both men and women.
Yes, there was definite molestation going on.
I cannot believe how busy that place was.
Crazy.
And then we walk around to just to go get a beer because we had Aero Wheels put on a awesome little event at LC's. Was it LC's?
Yeah.
Where we had the World of Outlaw late model show on, which, wow, I think the Moffat's Mayhem should be the Kyle Strickler, Ethan Dotson. Look out, folks. Even professional race car drivers drive like idiots out there, and they proved that last night. It put a smile on my face.
A couple of Super Nationals champions going at it in the back cars, and
That's what I'm saying.
Boy.
A 2-time and a 1-time.
one of them ends up upside down.
And I mean, we were talking about that last night at the table. It's like Ethan went in and threw a bomb in the first corner. Strickler braked for him, turned down, but then, which I thought was fine. Like, that's just kind of racing. If I was behind the wheel of the 174, I don't know if I would have necessarily done that, knowing that the top wasn't really that good at that point.
Right.
But they both knew once they got beside each other going down the backstretch, and I could be completely wrong. Ethan, I know you'll call me out, which I'm fine with, but they both were like, we're not lifting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I saw. And then it was like Strickler went in and just drove up the racetrack, basically, and got into Ethan, and then was upset, being a bitch, in my opinion, in his interview. And I love you, Kyle, but you got into Ethan. Like, did you brake for Ethan in 1 and 2? Yes, you did. Like, that was, everybody seen that. You braked, you turned down, you got beside him, you drove in there, you did not have him cleared.
Right.
And so I think it was a bad decision on both drivers.
Yeah.
Because it's the first lap of the heat race.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even lap 1 in, and you guys, I mean, very, very, very unfortunate. I would have been pissed as shit, like Strickler was too, getting rolled over a heat race. Like,
I've actually seen that, but it wasn't a heat race. But I saw you do a little upside down action last year at the Frostbust.
yeah, yeah, and it's just like,
A lot of hand talking.
right, right.
A lot of
There wasn't one single person that could do any sign language getting in anything when I was going.
Right.
Yeah, and I guarantee, I know those guys aren't paying for their stuff per se, but they're still, that shows the passion that they have. And that's what I take from it is, something bad like that happens and you see the fire come out on these guys. But yeah, in a heat race, like, you got to ask the question, how important is that lap?
Well, apparently it was about $1,500 important, or $1,000 or whatever it is to start that deal. I think that both of those drivers are very passionate about it. They've both been in the sport a very long time. But that's one thing where when they came out of turn 2, they both said oxygen off to the brain, and we're doing whatever it takes. Poor Dennis Erb.
Oh, of course.
He was just in the middle of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure he raced the rest of the race without an air cleaner on. He was doing a little tuning on there, down there in turn 4 on the 28. And then straps back in. Ethan Dobson, valiant effort for them to try to get that car back out there. It looked like he had a broken tire on to end his night there, but what a shitty way for both of those teams to start the night there last night at Bulls Gap.
Yeah, it was, we had just walked in, I think, then Drosty and Rust were sitting at the table. Like, did you see that?
Oh, yeah, you guys had just got there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So they showed the replay, and it was Yeah.
Well, they showed it like 15 times. It was like,
Yeah, they had plenty of time because cleanup was a little slow there in the infield, John.
well, and see, everybody, like, in my mind, when Kyle's upside down, I'm like in a panic in my brain, like, let's get him flipped over. I'm like, oh, wait, there's no oil in there. They have a tank. There's no oil in the motor. It's okay.
Right.
It can run upside down for like 10 minutes or something. I mean, that's insane.
It's crazy to think about.
But still, like, and it's just like, his car didn't look that bad, but it kind of looked bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't look.
It didn't look good.
No.
Yeah. Some things look bad, and then some things look good. Like all these people at this trade show. Like there's tons of people, tons of vendors. We kind of got welcomed with open arms when we got here.
Right.
It's a neat deal. I've never been here.
Yeah, this is your guys' first year up here, right? So we've been up here the last 3 years. The show is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And what I appreciate and what I take from it is it's really the vendors. Like, it's like a mini PRI, like super, super mini, but with the vendors that we see at all of our tracks around.
More concentrated for the people that we're used to see.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible at wordmanship, but that's a good, that was like the perfect way to put it. And that's why I admire this event, is because it's a lot of the people that I spend money with through the fabrication company. It's always nice to put a face with that. I'm Bobby over there at Quick Car. I hadn't seen him since last year.
Right.
And he shows up and he lost 100 pounds. Okay, I didn't even recognize him until I read his freaking name tag. And I'm like, Bobby? He's like, yeah, what's up, Darrell? Because his voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, dude. He's like, yeah, I figured out what a push-up was. And I'm like, I need to do that too, because I'm at 248 and the fattest I've ever been. Too many hot dogs and shit, boy. It takes a lot of fuel to run this motor. That's what I try.
Right?
It does, but gosh dang. But just, you get a lot of people, Spike Logue, I don't know where Spike houses out of.
They're in Indiana.
I mean, to have those people come here, those are the people in the industry that we get to work with.
Yeah.
And to come here, if you want to come here and try to get a deal with some of those product sponsors, not only are they're big supporters of IMCA Racing, but big supporters of a lot of other racing, what am I looking for, the word? And stations, racing stations. You go. So it's just super cool to see all them here. I didn't know Pat Graham was starting to look like Johnny Depp with the old hair over there and everything.
I kind of figured maybe
Look at him.
maybe he heard Peyton singing and he's gonna try and get on stage with him or something.
I mean, he could.
Looks like
Yeah.
it.
I haven't seen Switchblade Sam. I don't know if Jen Bone's up here or not, but we have seen a lot of. Oh,
God, yeah, you look at Carson's mustache from here.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's like so thin on top, and he's got the stash going on. I hope Brett watches this because it's hilarious.
Just starting to look distinguished. Just has that look to it. I'm happy for his wife, especially if she's happy with it. That's great. So I keep seeing there's so many people walking through, Jonathan, and every once in a while you see somebody squirt out of the crowd. You see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people walking around, and yeah, there's more and more people coming through here right now. Just seeing new faces every 30 seconds come by, and
It's kind of been one of them deals in the last few years where it's super busy the first couple hours. I mean, you can come up here and run through, and if you bullshit with a few of the people that you do business with and are your product sponsors, it could take you could spend a good half a day here, I'd say, just trying to see everything. We've got a lot of beautiful things. I mean, one of my customers just walked in. They're giving away, they got a free spin wheel up there.
Oh, really?
And Zach, God, I can't ever think of his last name, from Wisconsin, comes over to the booth, checks out the car, and he's like carrying a load stick. I'm like, oh, you bought a new load stick? He goes, no, I won it. Chad Weir's giving away a Bluetooth digital load stick.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's all kinds of shit up there
Right.
that they're giving away. So just another cool thing to try to get people to come here. They're doing a racetrack deal up here this year,
They said that deal was up to like $3,000.
which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That goes to a racetrack to dump back in. Now, we all know that you guys at Boone Speedway will probably put that into the concession stand, not the actual racetrack, but we're really looking forward to you guys.
Well, we got to buy Crispitos, bud.
Perfect. I've got a case of Ortega sauce under the bench that I'm going to donate to the Boone Speedway, courtesy of Whether or Not.
I'm also going to do a little work on this and see what a case of Crispitos costs. And I think whoever wins the Odega Dash that night
Just
gets
gets a
a case of Crispitos on top of the. I mean, they should get some money too, but a case of Crispitos and a jar of Odega, boy. Yeah, see, they're squirting out of the crowd everywhere. You see,
Boy, aren't they?
it's amazing.
Boy, aren't they?
So
God bless America.
it's a great day to be here. Now it's not going to be a great night to be here. We'll get away from Winter Storm Iona.
Well, they're telling me that they're calling for like 30 inches in Wisconsin. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Which I'm sure Wisconsin will be like, just a light dusting.
Right. Yeah, there'll still be fish huts out on the lake.
Of course.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Beatrice raced last night too.
Beatrice raced last night. We had J-Van, episode 26. We're 26 in without the J-Van. He couldn't be here.
Yep.
Now, we did actually, I don't know if we sent him an actual invite on the Google Calendar, but once we realized that he was going to be track prepping out there at Beatrice, that he wasn't going to be able to make it. So I don't know if you guys not send him.
So I actually just sent him a picture of the backdrop, and
You did?
he said, "There's something I'm never going to be in front of." So, I think he might be starting to accept it.
Is he?
Possibly.
I don't think he is.
See, I've been waiting for him to accept defeat, and then maybe he's, it brings him down a little bit, so his head will fit in the door. So then maybe someday we can have him on. Maybe, but we'll see.
I haven't seen Doug Johnson walking around here yet.
I talked to Doug up at the Adobe on Thursday. He thought that him and his old lady were going to be able to make the trip, but his kid was in the underwater basket weaving competition down there in Ottumwa, so they didn't know if they were going to make it or not.
I heard, is that state level? I think it is.
It's pre-semifinals.
Okay, quite the state.
Yeah, not quite to state, but
Awesome.
really coming up in the ranks down there.
Yeah.
I mean, those are tough competitions.
Just saying.
You know,
You don't
Doug-
mess with Doug Johnson. I mean, I don't know if you've seen his biceps, but they're bigger than Sowerman's.
That's trouble. I mean, them little golf balls.
Right.
Look out.
Right.
No, Doug, we've been getting some comments from Doug on the old Facebook, so
I've seen that.
we appreciate him being a fan, and we got stickers we brought for him. I don't know if he's going to show up, but we'll see.
I haven't even seen this. What do you guys got going on here?
That's our schedule. Check it out.
Look at the back of it.
Hey, I flipped the back. Look out.
Bud.
Yeah.
Courtesy of P1P, huh?
Yeah. Made those grass.
That looks great.
Here, we'll just. Oh, I can't. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, these came out pretty good.
King of the Catwalks is Christmas in July, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy night.
That won't be here.
Yep.
No, I will be here, but... Right on. Looks great. I won't be here. I think I'm gonna go to the North Dakota tour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's been pounding me about it, and it's over my birthday. I'm gonna be 38 this year, so I thought, got a new customer, a couple of customers up there actually. Johnny Carter and Chris Teacher, Girl Crowbar.
Yeah.
Braden Richards said that if Crowbar even thinks about putting a door on him, he's going to double leg him, and I told Chris he could be ready because Braden's scrappy.
He is?
Now, we had to have a talking Braden at
Yeah.
Boone one night.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Got a little spicy down
I think there was a double leg, actually.
Yeah, there was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, on him and Jeanette.
It
Yes.
was, yes. There was conversations had, and it eventually smoothed over. I don't know that, but I guarantee things haven't been forgotten.
Well, see, and you guys are always worried about me going and punching somebody. I've never even punched anybody at the racetrack.
That's a lie.
Are you?
Who did I punch?
Wait.
But it was after
This was in self-defense.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Well, I mean,
You guys would bring that up, wouldn't you?
it was in self-defense.
It was, okay, yeah, fair. All right, I'm going to go, we'll get serious here. You know what, though? I mean, the Bart Motorsports car last night looked great. Yeah, in Beatrice.
Yeah, he was
Picked up a
ripping.
top 5.
It did.
Although the racetrack was a little one-laney. Jared, do better on that tonight.
A little extra sheets button, or what do you think?
You know, I don't know. Like, that place is so weird. Like, it looked immaculate all night until the modified feature. Like, I don't know. Like, it just, like, the cushion kind of went away. And,
Right.
like I said, I'm not some dirt guy or anything like that. Like, I think they did an excellent job on the racetrack. Like, the heat races were really racy. The racetrack looked really good. It looked like they were really prepared. Although it did look cold as shit. And I'm over that racing in the cold shit. So if it's like 38 or like 48,
Yeah.
you guys need to huddle up and cancel the Frostbuster at Boone, at least.
Well, Lottie has a rule, so
What is the rule?
I believe it's 50. Is it 50?
Is that during the day or is that at night?
It used to be 60 for a high,
Right.
but then I think it's down to 50.
Yeah.
It has to reach.
I mean,
How does it drop? The
there-
older we get, how does it drop?
Well, it's Lottie.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
He doesn't make the most sense.
Oh no, come on in. No, yeah, come on in. Don't be bashful. Thank you. So, like, I'm to the point where I'm like, if it's not 50 at when the sun goes down, like, I'm over it.
Right.
Like, we went to Beatrice 2 years ago.
The
They're-
cold out there is different too.
It is, though. It is.
It is.
It really is. And so Dad had his motorhome, just had gotten the thing. First trip out of state with it, right? So we're in Todd Van Eaton's 1989, I believe it is. Rick Stack, the big banana. You guys know.
Yeah.
So we're all over there, and it's like, oh man, it's nice in here. We get up in the morning and look over, like, well, you suppose Sniffer and 5-time, because we call my Uncle Jeff Sniffer and Dad 5-time. You suppose they're over there and it's just sunny and 70 over there, in the Taj Mahal rig? And
Yeah.
we get out and I'm like, the rig's running. They got the side-by-side loaded up. My Uncle Jeff comes out of the rig with his bibs, his Davy Crockett full brown leather coat on.
What?
Yeah. The heat quit working.
Oh
So my dad's like, we're going home, and I'm just like, you guys brought all the food. What do you mean you're going home? I gotta get home. I don't want this thing freezing up and blah, blah, blah. So Dad and Sniffer, they took off, went home, and we stayed raced.
You had to eat.
Man.
You had to eat red dog.
Oh, Todd we didn't have any red dogs. Todd had brought us some good dogs.
Yeah, I think Todd's pretty good for having a stash.
Todd is really good. Like at Super Nationals, I could not believe our hut made Speedway Illustrated. We haven't talked about that yet. Dan comes down and is always like, hey, Jonathan, it's Dan, like, he's such a cool dude and writes some of the best stories.
Yep.
So if you haven't checked those stories out, make sure you check them out, because Dan actually is a very personable person and writes what he says he's going to write.
He does.
So
He does some good stuff too.
yeah, I mean, so at Super Nationals, we got a whole kitchen set up there with the hut and little nap area. We got air.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We brought in our own generator this year, like a big dog, and we were letting everybody that was surrounding us plug into it, just because
Hell yeah.
it was awesome. So it was pretty cool to see that in the Speedway Illustrated magazine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Carson's still over there working his mustache.
Carson,
I think the Freedom Lifts jack guy is trying to sell him one of them $5,000 jacks.
Yeah.
Which I tell you, if you haven't checked those out,
it looked pretty nice.
they are super awesome. Super awesome. Like, and it jacks up really fast. I should have him come over here and do a tutorial on that car right there.
And just throw old Sam's up. Yeah, we could put some other stickers underneath that here.
He's gonna be. I think it's gonna be tagged all over the place.
I can't wait.
By the time you're done.
I love it.
But Well, should we kick to a break? Come back, see if we can find somebody to jump on with us.
Yep, I think I messaged somebody. She might be here shortly.
Sounds good. Well, we're gonna see if this actually worked on our end.
Oh shit.
Yeah, says it's recording, so.
How many minutes we in?
30.
30? Whoa.
Yeah.
Got a half hour in
That was
already.
quick.
Good. I'm going to go over to that door over there and have me a smoke real quick.
There you go.
Well, we'll take a break and kick it off to Moffitt's Fork, Central Iowa Diesel Performance, Adobe Lounge. And then when we get back, we will hopefully have a guest. So stay tuned. You're watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll be right back.
At Moffitt's Ford, it's not just about selling cars. It's about taking care of our neighbors. For generations, families have trusted us for reliable vehicles, honest pricing, and service that feels like home. Whether it's a dependable F-150, a safe and spacious Explorer, or your next pre-owned vehicle, we're here to help you find the right fit. And long after you drive off the lot, we're still here with expert service you can count on. Stop by and see us today. Moffitt's Ford, home of the million-mile warranty.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And we brought in a guest from the crowd, Andrea McCain. Here's a lucky winner, the random draw as she was walking by. But
This all started in Florida. Let's remember that. We were on a dolphin cruise. I had to remind her what it is we talked about last night. But yes, welcome. Glad to have you. This is your first podcast.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. We like breaking people in, don't we, John?
We do. She's just like all the other guys. The only woman that we've had on the show thus far.
First woman. One more ahead of Jerry.
One more ahead of Jerry. Yes, we like doing that. Yes, Mike. She's got the dynamic stuff right from. Yeah.
I fixed my hair and everything.
I'm a little bit disappointed you don't have the hat on. That's like you always have. We always see you with the hat on in the fitted.
Well, I had to look professional today, so.
Fair.
Yeah.
So one of the only females that travels around all the big main events.
Yeah.
We've seen the 25 car, just you and your dad.
Yep.
Traveling around to these shows with the dynamic crew. We've seen you at Florida. Been to a couple years ago, we come up and run that. What was that show called? The Wasota deal at all the Wasota tracks.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what they call that, but we got to go race at a couple of his own friends.
That was a little different. I got wrecked every night. We were up there.
weird stuff.
Seems like operator error, but
Oh, does it? Oh, geez.
Shots
Fair. But, how long have you been racing? And why? We see you run at a lot of these shows, so that kind of tells me you don't race anywhere for a weekly points deal. So what is it? I mean, are you just doing this just for fun? And when and did you get started?
okay, so I started racing probably 11 years ago, I think. I raced for 4 years at Arlington in a class called the Outlaw class, and it was a lot of retired stock cars, and we had to run a Rochester carburetor, DOT tires, and exhaust manifolds. Otherwise, it was pretty much a stock car. And I ran there for 4 years, and I won some races, and I was like, it's time to look to a stock car. And I think this is my 8th or 9th year in a stock car. And one of the big reasons I want to go to stock cars is so I could travel and go to all these big races. And I found that going to Iowa especially, where the competition is really good, I become a better driver. So I like going, my job allowed it, and I was able to go to a bunch of places, and I got to experience a lot of cool things, and I've got to meet a lot of cool people who've been able to help me along the way. And I actually do run weekly at Arlington.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So every Saturday night we're at the big half mile. There was a minute that I was running at Fairmont weekly as well, and then I earned my wings there, and I'm kind of afraid of that place now. So, but yeah, I actually got a new job that I start on Monday. I'm going to be working at B&B Racing Chassis, the best stock cars there are in IMCA.
I wasn't even shots fired. That was like,
Well, I mean, where's the B&B booth at here?
Well, I start on Monday, so
You guys are like closer than I am, and we don't even have a car over here. Paul?
do better.
No, Paul does great. He does. He really does. He's like one of the greatest guys in the industry. In my opinion, he's been around a very, very long time. Builds, I'll say he's in the top 5 of the chassis builders that are in the IMCA Stock Car class. I could be wrong, but I think he probably has the most cars in the market just because of how long he has been in the industry. And it's been a really cool thing. If you don't follow B&B on Facebook, follow them up because they do put out a lot of really cool videos, a lot of in the shop stuff that they got going on, new product releases, awesome powder coat jobs that they got going on. And Paul's just a cool dude. I mean, he just really is.
He's fun to have around, like at Super Nationals and stuff. And then they do the car giveaway,
Right.
All Star, and all that stuff. And him and I work together a little bit because when I do the tent for the time trials for their race, and just really super good people.
Yeah, he really is, and he's built an empire, all right, where they build them things at, and he's got all that new fixturing stuff and the new laser stuff, and he's got a state-of-the-art shop, that's for sure. I don't know how many cars. Do you know how many cars he does a year? Since you're gonna go ahead and talk shit about it.
no, just a lot of them. I don't
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, we're not quite to the B&B level, but we've done Rage chassis. We've done just about 10 to 12 cars a year, depending on, But we're only about 6 years into this. I think Paul's been building cars since when?
I think last year was his 30th year.
30th year?
So I'm pretty sure because there was
That's a long
a
time.
30th year edition T-shirt. Yeah.
I was going to say it was probably 30. I think.
That's great.
So
Awesome.
just like we do here, we have a lot of different perspectives. We have the driver's perspective, car manufacturer perspective. For Paul, I come from the perspective of I get mistaken for Jerry at Boone Speedway, and I know he gets mistaken for Jerry. Paul, I'm really sorry about that. It sucks. We should probably have a meeting sometime at Super Nationals, like just to talk through our issues. But
Yeah.
Paul's a great guy.
Yeah.
He is actually the first person to give me a shirt when I started working at Super Nationals at the gate.
You let him in for free.
I absolutely
Did Lottie know that?
hell no. I wasn't gonna tell it. But hey,
You got to talk about it in your Jerry's Anonymous meeting.
T-shirts are like currency back in the day. I mean, it's like passing cigarettes in prison. Barry? Anyway. So,
Kind of like passing smokes to Jerry.
well, that too.
Same thing.
But you don't get anything for that, do you?
Just a bunch of shit. Like he uses my lighter fluid. He smokes my smokes.
Uh-huh.
Well, I did get a picture of him running the sheepsfoot out there in Beatrice. Did you guys get it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, mine was him running the grader.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't think he had any pants.
He must have been on the phone with Rod, huh?
Well, then he didn't. That definitely didn't have any pants on.
What color were his toenails?
I did not see the toenails.
Must have been a little too chilly.
I think so. Yeah, I had to have socks.
Right.
So Andrea,
Yep.
first thing I want to ask you, how'd you get your car number?
So when I was like way younger, we had a family friend and their daughter played basketball, and she was like my idol, and she was number 25. And so when I started playing sports, I wanted to be 25. And my brother actually races stock cars as well, but he started with a demo derby car, and when he was finding his number, I was like, you should be 25. And so that's what he did, and then he started racing, and then I started racing, and we were in the same class, and we couldn't have the same number, so I just added an A at the end. And then he moved up, and I stayed in the same class, but I just kept the 25 end.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Do you, I already know the answer to this, but racing primarily IMCA, that helps you be able to take off and go across the country and go to an event and know you're running under the same rules that everybody else is, and you don't get up against a car that maybe doesn't quite fit the rules and then screw you over in a race or anything like that. But you know, overall, just the ability to pull into a track and know that you're not at a disadvantage just based on the, you know, a different track rule or something like that. It's got to be helpful.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate that we do have such a good set of rules that, like, and it's upheld very well. Like, I live in Wissota land. Like, it'd be so much easier for me to race Wissota. But we did. My brother raced Wissota for, I think, 10 years, and then we made the switch. And it was just, not to badmouth them or bash them or anything, but it was so inconsistent. Like, and it was very frustrating. And to go to IMCA and be able to drive to Arizona or Florida and know that I'm going to be racing against an equal car, a legal car, like, that's huge.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate that we're able to do that. I mean, and then to not even drive to Arizona or Florida, but to go to Iowa and have the availability of so many different racetracks, like, close, like, we're lucky. We're very lucky.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we like seeing it when the 25A rolls in a boom. You know, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does happen, we like to see you show up. And I personally, I pay attention to a lot of drivers. I have people I like to watch, but there's something about when a female rolls in racing in a primarily male-dominated sport and is able to keep up, is able to do, you know, you don't see a female in a car, you just see a race car. Yeah. And
there was years that was me. I mean, I had a car before I got my B&B, and I struggled a lot. And I didn't really have any help to try and get it better. And I was to the point where I was like, I'm gonna start in the back because that's where I'm gonna end up anyways. I don't want to be in Quimble's way. And then I got my B&B, and the tech support that I got was huge. Like, I started racing it, and I had people coming up to me that I felt like I'd been in the way before that are like, it's fun racing with you again. Like, you're competitive now, to not, you know, like, in the way. Like,
I seen you pull some moves at the 5,000 to win show at Arlington this year, and it was like, it gave me, I'm like, holy shit, she's on the firewall, baby. Phil, you know, it really kind of caught my, it put that into perspective a little bit. When we were in Florida here a couple of weeks ago, Jocelyn Olmquist, there was three female drivers down there. I don't remember the other gal's name. It's still Phil.
Well, she was a spark mod. Addie was in the
Okay, so there was 4 female drivers.
was.
Geez, so 5 of you.
I know the female drivers. We can talk about that a little bit.
It's one of the only things that the men outnumber the women in, because, you know, like Rochester, I think it's 8-1 for the men and women up here. But do you feel like an underdog going into that because, you know, you are a woman racing in a sport that is, you know, basically full of a loaded asshole, you know, like.
So one of my favorite memories was I got to go race Bristol. And I didn't know a lot of the people there because it was people from everywhere. It wasn't necessarily IMCA rules either. So there was a lot of cars there. And I raced side by side with this guy for like the entire race. And we got out and he took his helmet off. We got out of his car and I was doing the same. And he was like, holy shit, you're a girl. He was like, that was so much fun. And I was like, I love when people don't know I'm a girl, because I feel like they do race with a little bit more respect because they do shove people around. Jocelyn and I had that conversation in Florida. We got out and she was very flustered, I could tell. And she's like, the stock cars are so much different than the sport mods because we put fenders on each other and a lot. And that's not necessarily how it is in the open wheel cars. She's like, it's so intimidating. And I told her, they're going to keep doing it to you until you
do.
Yeah, stand up for yourself.
I'm glad you told her that, because I've been telling her that for 2 years. Like, I don't give a shit if you're male or female. I'm going to race you respectfully and let the best person win at that moment. You know, like, rubbing is part of the sport, and a lot of people forgot about that. And I also think that the problem with our sport now is that there's no consequence for anything that happens on the racetrack. You know, like, as far as, like, if I go in and just clean you out, like, everybody just goes back to their trailer and gets on social media and knocks you down. Where before, I should be able to go and have a conversation with you even if we have a disagreement, and still walk away from that conversation as like, I don't dislike you because we had a disagreement. You know, I mean, does that make sense? Like,
And I've had to go do that. And as a woman, that's hard to do, especially when you're going to talk to a male. Like, I've gone like to a point where it's like, I need to go stand up for myself.
well, let's be completely honest here.
Yep.
It might be a little intimidating because you're good looking.
Yep.
So when you have a good looking woman go and talk to a man and you're going to go tell him that he ran you over, I'll just say it's probably a little embarrassing for him to admit fault at that point.
Let's just ask this. You're in your pit. You guys have a tangle on the track. You go to your pit. Here she comes.
The first thing I would ask her is, where's your French Bulldog at? To break the ice.
But okay, her coming to your pit to light you up versus me coming to your pit to light you up. It's going to be a different story.
It is.
But even the guys that I've gone to talk to, like, I don't know if it's just like a lack of respect because it was the same thing that happened on the racetrack, but it's like one guy asked me if I wanted to be on my lid, and I was like, well, I'm perfectly capable of doing that by myself. Right. I told Jocelyn the same thing. You're going to run into people who, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're not going to respect you. Right. And it sucks, but it's the reality of it. It really is. And then, I mean, on top of it too, like, there is females, and it's been a topic of conversation in NASCAR, especially right now. There are females who are in it for the wrong reasons, and they do give females a bad name. And that's hard as a female to, like, say and admit, but that's the harsh reality, I think.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah, like speaking it to that point, so you help organize a deal at Super Nationals for the women racing. Like, you're kind of in charge of that deal with Mike, right?
Yeah.
And like, that's grown into like something really, really big. I remember, was there rain one year and we had to like move a day or something?
Yeah.
But like when they finally got it all put together, I couldn't leave all the females that were there I mean, there was 30 of you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about how you guys decided to put all that together.
So, going back even further, I've known Mike at Dynamic for a long time.
And you still associate with it.
Yes, I do.
I know, that's rough.
But I know, I still do.
Right.
In Florida, 3 years ago, the first year the stock cars raced, we had a rain day, and he was staying at the track in his trailer. And I called him. I was like, hey, do you want to go to dinner with us? And he was like, yes, please. And like, we literally adopted him that night. He's been part of my family ever since. Like, he has a room at my parents' house. Like,
Wow.
So he's family. So we got to talking about how he's obviously in the racing world way bigger than just dirt, and he does asphalt stuff. And ARCA races actually do a lot with women. And we were talking about how, like, we should do something like that at Super Nationals, the biggest stage that IMCA has, and just have all the women come up, because not every girl has a pink race car, and the fans in the stands might not know that there's women in the race cars. And it's just a cool thing to have the fans, and especially the kids, the little girls, know that it is possible for a girl to drive a race car if that's what you want to do. Yep. And it kind of grew from there. I contacted Carson, and I got a hold of Brett, and I told him, like, this is what I want to do, and he was like, I like it. Go with it. And it's what it's grown into.
I think it's so cool to see the little girls come and walk. But here's another thing that I thought of last year at Super Nationals, the little boys. Mm-hmm. I think if we get a generation of little boys that grow up knowing that there's females in race cars, it might shift a little down the road,
right,
to where it's a normal thing,
right,
to where it's not such a, because like they talk about like females that race NASCAR like in the late 70s, like that was like an absolute outlier. Couldn't even get in the garage area, like stuff like that.
Well, even girls weren't allowed in the pits.
Right.
Yeah.
At our level.
Back in the day, and that was when there was less drama.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't allowed in the pits.
I get it.
Good observation.
I was just saying I wasn't even around then, but I heard about them stories. So, yeah.
But like if you think about it, if it continues to evolve, 20 years from now, it might not even be a thing.
Yeah.
For
sure.
So
For sure. Yeah.
It's
do we know how many girls are in race in IMCA?
Well, there's the Lady Eagle, but I don't know the numbers.
Have you ever got the Lady Eagle?
No.
No.
Is that a goal? What could it be a goal?
It's so hard because it's every class.
It is.
Yeah.
And I race a stock car. That's a very competitive class. I'm racing against guys who have been racing longer than I've been alive. Like that's a hard thing to do. So to win the amount of races that I would need to win to get the Lady Eagle, like that's a tough thing to do.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should, Carson's here. Maybe we need to talk to him about that. Maybe they need to have a Lady Eagle for specific class.
First class, yeah.
Just because that is a pretty bowl, like a pretty big, I don't know how many, it'd be cool to find out how many females are actually registered with IMCA. It's probably all,
I did assets Carson. So Ryan, that I think last year when he was growing, started the sport nationals, and I don't ever gave me the answer, but like every female that's re-registered, like he would let me know who it was so I could get a contact with them.
That's cool. I did not know you even did that. So that like makes you even cooler than what you were 15 minutes ago.
That's awesome.
But I'm just saying, like, there's shit like that you don't see. Like I've been in racing my whole life, and I didn't know that. And you've been doing this for how long?
This upcoming year, I think, will be the third year.
Third year?
Yep.
And she,
Get me tables, okay?
Has it grown tables every year?
You're 8th right now through March 7th. There you go.
How many are in there?
As 27. Just started the end of the year, yeah.
Wonder if you could look up 25 results and then it would tell you. But no, that takes a lot of legwork, and
it does.
That takes a passion to be able to do that. So.
And like I kind of touched on, like I love that females race, and I love even more the females who race for the right reasons. And I like being able to show that we are here and we deserve to be. We have every right to be here, Yep. I paid my IMCA license just like you guys did, so.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, have you ever actually intentionally just taken somebody clean out because they've wiped you out?
Just that one time. It's fine.
Just the one? Anyway, yeah, what one time and who was?
About this?
I told you about it last night.
I know, but you didn't tell me I hear.
Well, I don't want to badmouth the racetrack.
You're not badmouth Ella, then that's what this is all about. Here, spit it out.
Well, we were at the second racetrack in Florida, and I parked by Mike because Mike was my pit bitch, and so I was up on the concrete, and another stock car rolled in, this huge toter rolled in, and a brand new car rolled out. They were like bleeding the brakes and everything, and I'm like getting in my car to go race, and we're in the same heat, and I was like, are you gonna put numbers on that thing? So I duct taped some numbers on, took his starting spot, never raced his car, brand new car, and it didn't work. His car, it pushed like a mofo, and he screwed me like 3 times repeatedly. And finally I was like, get out of my way. And I moved him out of my way. And then we came back, and I was like, if you park next to me, it's gonna be awkward. And they came over and they're like, oh, it was such a good race. And I was like, what were you watching? Like, So then later in the night, Cody Center was looking at the car with me, and we were like, that thing is not even ICA legal. And it was very frustrating. I was like,
yeah, it was kind of like when we were at Bristol. People were hanging lead on their rear ends and doing all kinds of that stuff. And I'll say that IMCA, a lot of the sanctions are really good about following their rule packages. But you always get that one guy that just pushes it, or woman.
Come to find out, the guy that was driving that car, I think the car was owned by the racetrack owner. There was some sort of associated here. Yeah.
Weird.
That was the guy that tried to get through without having his IMCA license.
Simony Sam, well, I called him all week. Yeah. He just don't have red hair, he had gray hair.
And them teeth gnarled down. Yeah, shit, yeah. It was something.
It was funny though, because he had the audacity to ask me later, like, oh, how long had you been racing? As if I had done something wrong. I was like,
Maybe he meant it as a compliment. Like, you've been racing long enough, you knew how to move him out of the way.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
What'd the pit crew think about your moving that car out of the way? Was it a good move or a bad move, or were they?
Oh, they wondered why I hadn't done it like 3 laps prior. I don't like doing that though. I don't like, like purposely moving somebody out of my way. Like,
well, you don't want to fix your own shit.
Exactly.
Like,
Mike was busy selling gears. He didn't want to work on my car.
I think about that a lot. Like, we do see people do things intentionally with their cars, and my first thought when I see it is, oh, you don't have to fix that.
100%. Or you don't have to pay for it.
Or you don't have to pay for it. Right. You might have to fix it, but Because, yeah, I never wanted to fix my shit. I didn't want to work on anything.
It's funny that you say that. Kelly Shyrock and I had a conversation. We were racing in Dubuque, and I had parked a couple cars down from him, and he went and watched my B, and he's like, you need to be like 1.5 feet closer to the wall. And I was like, Kelly, I can't afford to be that close to the wall. Because if I wreck, I have to pay for it, and I have to fix it. I can't afford to be that close to the wall.
Yeah.
That's something that's always in the back of my head when I get in my car. Like, if I wreck this thing, I have to pay for it and fix it myself.
Yeah, but it's a lot of people think, I'll use me as an example. A lot of people think that I get everything for free because I'm Bobcat or I'm John Loeb's kid. Bullshit. I have a budget that I start with every year, and I work not just I, but my race team and I work our asses off.
That's why Duck doesn't even have any hair anymore.
That duck has no hair because of it. Yep. I mean, legit. And he's got one gray patch on this side that is getting bigger and bigger. I'm starting to get salt and pepper. Everybody, I'm like 37, and I'm like asking Andrea, I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 30. What?
I told you you're not supposed to talk about women's age.
Yeah, well, I did. I just did that because you specifically said I shouldn't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
But like, he asked me, he's like, how old are you? 30. And I was like, dude.
It's just a number. I mean,
Be careful, because dead bodies end up at the end of her driveway.
I heard that last night. It must be a Minnesota thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, everybody has a budget. Like, I don't go out there and think I'm driving through, or I'm going to race somebody super hard because I don't care, I've got unlimited funds, or I'm at this point in my budget in my racing career or racing in the season. But it's like, it takes a lot of frickin' money to go and do this stuff, and so I don't ever think that way. I don't ever go out on the racetrack. Even if I get into an altercation with somebody in the prior race or whatever, I don't go out there and be like, well, I'm returning that favor. Because I don't want to tear my shit up either.
Well, there's the thing with the stock cars, and I'll say it, the hobby stocks too, is you may not go out there with that intention, but if you happen to get up beside somebody that drove you shitty, you can put a door on them.
Well, you're chopping them.
Right. You can feed them a right rear.
I mean, are you chopping some? I mean, you're not, like, if I get raced, I will race anybody how they race me. If I get disrespected a little bit, I will return that. And it might not be as disrespectful as what I feel like I've gotten, but we're also too really biased with what we think and what we in our head. We're just shielded.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Right? So, and I've been on both ends of that stick, and I've been on the end of the stick where I've straight up squared off on somebody and drove through them intentional with the mentality of, if I'm not going to make it, you're not going to make it. I haven't done that very often, but heat of the moment shit. We talk about it, the wailing the hams around and the sign language shit. I've got really good at reading the sign language here the last few years. And giving it away.
Logan said you do a really good job.
Yeah. There you go. If anybody ever knew what I was actually saying, right? I mean, it could be.
My guess is they're just cackling, laughing. That's what I always think. Right. He's got to
sing in your car, because that's what I do.
It just depends. Like, usually, if I was mic'd up like they do the NFL thing, that'd be dangerous.
We got these for a reason.
Yeah, I'm sure. The price.
This deal to do the ass tattoo challenge, we're going to be mic'd up. I talked to Garrett about it.
Oh, great.
I can't wait.
I'll be good because I'll be set in quick time.
Didn't you roll last year, like at Boone the first?
Really? You had to bring that up again?
Careful. Now he's going to feed you a right rear.
No shit.
Right in the back?
I was running like 8. Yeah, I was in the top 10.
I just did that to myself. I said, you're going to be running in the back, and you get me right here.
Yeah, undercarriage on that 69 JR was gooey.
That's what
everybody said. They're like, man, that's the clean. I'm like, it's got 32 laps on it. This should be clean.
You should have told everybody. That's what it looks like all year long. You're playing your shit.
Right. Going power washer.
That's right.
Right on. Well, should we let you get back to the show, and then we'll see if we can find some other poor sap to join us here.
I'll go warn everyone. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah. I saw Kelly walking around with the Nerf guns. She's probably poking somebody's eyeball out with that thing. But appreciate you jumping on with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for coming over, and
Good luck on the new gig.
yep. Good luck on the new gig. Good luck racing this year. Hopefully we'll see you down at Boone.
Wait a minute. What are you going to be doing it?
I'm
You
gonna
be answering the phone, because if you're answering the phone, I'm going to be calling her out.
I know how to block numbers though too, so but yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing like all the front end stuff, like all the parts, shipping, run the social media, get the website up and running. Paul's got a laser table and he's been super busy with that. So just kind of picking up the slack a little bit, because not that there's slack, it's just he's so busy.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah, I know the feeling with that. When you start getting, he's starting to do a lot of other things with that laser table, I think, is what I've kind of gathered from talking with him and stuff. And so I'm sure it'll be a great addition to B&B to have you there to run that social media stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're getting that same day shipping, because you guys are speedy like we are, so we can ship stuff out in a day and you get it the next day, depending on where you're at in the country. So super pumped for Paul, not so pumped for you. I don't know, because you were a dick.
It would be good. I'm really excited.
Hey, there's a t-shirt idea for you. The female drivers can be dicks too.
That's a good one, yeah.
That's a good one. That's why we keep him around for all big brain stuff.
What it is, the great ideas.
That's right. We had plenty of great ideas at 1 a.m. party.
Yeah, he did.
But, well, no, on that note, we'll go to another break. I saw Mike Bennett walking around over there. He was trying to show us his ass, but maybe we'll get him on.
He's got an ass tattoo, so
That's it.
He did tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Throat goat.
Yeah. So,
Oh boy. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go to a break. While Bud, she was giving me the crane operator over there. I had to give her one.
all right. Well, thank you, Andrea. And yeah, we'll go to a break. When we come back, we'll find somebody else to put on there. You've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Adobe Lounge located in Boone, Iowa at 915 West Mammy Eisenhower. Our hours are Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to close, Saturday and Sunday, noon to close. Come enjoy some of the strongest drinks in town and the best homemade pizzas around. Whether you're stopping in to relax, meet friends, or grab a bite, the Adobe Lounge is the place to be. See you soon.
Segment is brought to you by Logue Fabrication, your go-to shop for custom metal fabrication. From residential and commercial projects to auto racing applications, Logue Fabrication delivers quality and precision every time. They're not just fabricators, they're racers too. Proud home to Rage Hobby Stock and Stock Cars you see tearing up Boone Speedway every week. Whether you need a custom railing, a commercial build, or race-ready metalwork, trust the team at Logue Fabrication to get it done right. Logue Fabrication, where craftsmanship meets horsepower. We can help you stand out anywhere with P1 Promotions, the home of P1P Canopy. From the racetrack to the ball fields to trade shows and beyond, our custom pop-up canopies are built to showcase your brand in style, with multiple sizes and full customization available. But we don't stop there. P1 Promotions also delivers custom rugs, apparel, sportswear, trade show setups, and even P1P custom awards that make an impact. You can see all we have to offer at www.p1pcanopy.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And we found another guest, Chad Wehrs. And Chad, you've been part of this show since the start of it. And this thing is growing. And I mean, there's people just all over the place in the steel stuff.
Yeah, what a relief. I mean, earlier in the week, the weather looked like it was going to wipe us out. And us and Kevko put so much effort into this show to get all these companies to come to Rochester and show their stuff off, and so we're happy to be here. It's the room is pretty full, and it's been a good day so far, and the weather's going to hold off till we're all home. So that's the best part. So
Yeah, that's great.
What are you looking for?
nothing. I just was listening. Why do you guys always point me out on that?
Well, we're just
I think it's a great. I've been telling everybody it's like a mini PRI.
yeah.
But it's. I know that's a big statement to the PRI show just because of how big it is, but I feel like this show is more focused on the racers in this specific area, the Midwest Expo, like that. That's like the best name ever that you guys come up for it, just because all of your guys, all the companies that are here are the people and the faces that we see where we go race. Like where you go to PRI, you don't see a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the PRI show has turned more into just anything that's involved with automotive, right? It's owned by SEMA, and we're focusing on just circle track, hardcore, Saturday night dirt tracks in this area, and, you know, even all across the Midwest. I mean, we're not going to just say we'll draw a 3-hour circle around here. Let's draw a 6-hour circle around here, because if you can't afford to go to PRI, you got PRI caliber companies here with, you know, Quick Car, All-Star, 5-Star. I mean, these are big brands that have spent the money to come to Rochester, Minnesota, and show these regional racers that they care about them, bring their products, and talk to them. And meeting, you're going to get the opportunity to meet some of the best manufacturer reps in the industry, and I'm honored that they took a chance and came to our show, and it's great to see the people come and endorse that. So,
Well, and like you said, you have the space to where like you can actually go talk to somebody at this show versus, you know, we've done when it was IMIS and then PRI. It's like, okay, I will meet you here for dinner later, because you can't really talk to people.
Well, it's just so big at PRI. Like there's just so many moving parts going on, and there's so many people from the racing, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Southern. Like here at this show, it's more of a one-on-one. It's not as busy as PRI. And this is a really good way for racers to come up here and interact with those people that they just necessarily talk to on the phone,
Right.
and don't get a face-on-face interaction with that person. And to me, as being in the industry now, chassis building, I want to look somebody in the face, because I can read them and see how much they care about shit, and or if they're just lazy. And you know, I don't want to support somebody that's lazy,
right.
you know. So if you're not a racer, or if you're a racer and you're not coming up to this show, in my opinion, you're missing out, because this is a good opportunity to maybe get you a deal on some stuff if you've had some success in our racing world here.
Yeah, I've been to a few trade shows like through my work. Not too many in the racing industry. I've always wanted to go to PRI, but walking through this deal, it's like, it just looks well laid out. Like everybody looks like they're having a good time. We see people chatting and visiting. I see Jonathan selling race cars right and left, and we had to get a crowbar from the booth next door to get him away to get over here. But Chad, how long have you been involved in the racing industry? Like,
Well, I mean, I've been in it my whole life. My parents owned and operated 2 racetracks, so I grew up popping popcorn and picking up trash. And when my family got out of the promotion side, I started working on a car with my older brother. And at the time, I was working in my dad's body shop, so that's where I learned how to weld. Started playing with parts, tinkering. There was an old lathe in the corner, turned that on, and the rest basically is history. I was like, man, we can make cool stuff. So since that day, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I've been making cool stuff, and which led to 1 and 10 and 100, and now we do over 500,000 parts a year for the racing industry.
Really?
So
That's great.
It's a tremendous honor to be a part of it and see what it's turned into. And I mean, we have 41 employees that the racing industry feeds their family, buys their houses, buys their cars. I mean, that's what it's turned into. Like, you know, when I started when I was 20. I just wanted to make parts and stay in the industry. And now to have this brand support families and have so many great people on our team, like Jonathan, building them badass stock cars, and it's just amazing what it's turned into.
Well, and like for what Wehrs does for the racing community, not like only your employees, but the racers, you know, you make their lives easier, right? Like some of the parts you guys make just make the racing, the adjustments and the tools and whatever, it just kind of makes their life a lot easier.
Well, my favorite thing about one of my favorite things about Wehrs Machine is when something is inspired by a driver.
Yes, that's one of my favorite.
You guys,
Yeah.
like, promote, like, this was inspired by blah blah, whoever it is, whatever it is, and like, it's like you don't take the credit. It's everybody over there is talking about our race car over there, and it's like, you know, Matt and Sam are the ones that put that together. It's like, it's tough for me. I've been in a really big learning curve on doing the book work and all the behind the scenes shit as like owning a place.
Right.
And it's just as much work as going and like doing the work, right? Like when I call Wehrs Machine, I don't only just like to talk to Ella, but I like to talk to Chad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I do like Billy too, because you got a good one there. You know that ad group. He eats lunch more than anybody I know. Every time it's on lunch, you know. But it makes it tough because people, and I tell Justin this all the time, and you know just as well as I do, it's like your phone rings constantly.
Yeah.
And because I feel like everybody created such a good relationship with all the racers. Like, I want to call and talk to Chad Wehrs. I want to talk to the brains of the operation. And it's not just your brain, it's 40. I didn't realize you had 40 some employees. That is insane.
It's wild. And, you know, I mean, that's the cool part is like, I'll still answer the phone, you know, and it's funny because if the girls are busy and everybody's busy and then I answer it, they're like, wait, this is Chad. I'm like, well, and this is, it's my company. I don't just sit here and do anything. You're right. You get a tech call once in a while, it's going to be me. So, I mean, and that's who I am and what I've always done. And, you know, it's just such a cool deal to be a part of it and be able to produce the products and work with the people and the inspirations. You know, that's obviously, you know, a lot of the inspirations were mine, but it got to the point where you get such a great team of inventors, whether it's a chassis builder, a race car driver, crew chief, that, you know, it's just like, hey, this has got to be inspired. It's going to have their tag on it. Mm-hmm. And it's been really, really cool. And I think that attracts people because of how we take care of them and how much we give back to the industry. So, you know, you talk about the giving back. The racetrack thing was a clean from the radio show. I was like, hey, you should do this thing where we give back to the racetracks. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. Yeah. So a bunch of us manufacturers kicked in. And that's up to $3,000.
That's what I heard him say.
So whatever track wins today with most people. So I'm not sure what the tally's at, but that's going to be exciting at the end of the day to see who wins that. That goes right directly to the racer from us manufacturers. So we love to be a part of it. We love giving back, and it's just an awesome deal. So.
Well, not only that, I was here when we first opened up here, a kid come walking in and he's got this little Wehrs Machine load stick, and I'm like, oh, you bought that from Chad? He goes, no, I won it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Chad's giving away free Bluetooth load sticks? I didn't even sign up for that. I'm kind of pissed about it. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm like, that's like $700. He's like, yeah. I'm like, so it was worth the and they're 3.5 hours from here. They're really close to you and come down here.
That's awesome.
I always murder the guy's name, but it's Zach something. Him and I think his wife's name was Chelsea, but 77 car, lives not that far from you guys, but comes down here and they got this free wheel spinning thing and walks away with a $700 load stick. That's awesome. What Wehrs Machine does.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my guys even looked at me like, we're actually going to give away a load stick. It was like $775. I'm like, hey, I mean, that's how much I care about packing this room and getting people here.
Right.
So these manufacturers, I mean, these big companies ain't going to come here with nobody here.
Boy.
So whatever we can do to make a buzz, you know, you paid $5 to get in and you automatically going to win at least a t-shirt. You know, that's $20. So, I mean, basically we're paying everybody to come, right?
Right.
So, and it's the manufacturers that came together and, you know, basically get on board with what we're trying to do and donate to that. And, you know, it's awesome. Like you said, I'd seen that guy walk by with a load stick and I'm like, sweet.
Yeah. That about cool. Shit. I'm like, I mean, he just got a stock car last year. He was a hobby stock guy. What a great thing for his program. Like, he needs that for his program. And that was just, I mean, it kind of gave me like the GBs, like, gosh, dang, I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, not a lot of shows that you go to are doing shit like that. And I think that that's what separates this show from a lot of the other shows. And that's why Wehrs Chassis and Lobe Fabrication comes here, has been here the last 3 years. We had the best interest tonight. I don't know if anybody else started their stock car, drove it in here, but we did last night.
That was awesome. I mean, I heard it coming and I went from one end of the building to the other just so I could get over here and there's nothing like a mid-winter buzz, right? So you got to get that little smell. And
so on this
found what gets to Chad wrote that, right? Plus the fumes. Yeah. Brenda always told me he was weird about fumes.
Well,
not only does Wehrs Machine do race car stuff, I've been really getting into your trick outdoor stuff.
Yep. So my kids were into hunting more than me. I took 30 years off from hunting to build this brand, and then they were hunting with grandma and grandpa, and then it led to, why aren't you going? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll get back into it. So when we don't have the race team anymore, there's a little more time there to do stuff, and the kids are really into it. And so I started hunting again, and the products are just somewhat inferior, right? And my guys are like, don't do it. I think I just have to do it, right?
Yeah. Right.
We were hunting in a ground blind in Iowa, and my media guy was filming me, and he's zip tying GoPros up, and he got all the calls and everything laying on the ground. I'm like, what is going on here? Why don't we do something to fix this? So we made a GoPro mount to go in the tent, and we made a shelf to get your stuff off the dirt, and that's going really good. We actually just got the tent shelf and the camera mounts and the game noose into Shields. So I needed another brand, but right, it's been a fun brand and a different brand. And you want to talk about polar opposites, the hunting on the racing, but there's a lot of racers that are overlap
there too, yeah.
100% there. They make great Christmas gifts. I've got my sister and my brother-in-law the old turkey foot noose thing, or whatever you guys call that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always admire your videos. Like, you got that bike that you ride in, because you do bike stuff too.
Yeah, I've been an owner of a bike shop for a few years, and that's it's been going okay. So not sure what the future holds for that, but yeah, we built some e-bikes and mountain bikes and stuff like that.
I don't know if you guys have seen the video of Chad's turkey shoot, the fly-in or whatever, but you definitely need to check that out, because it's one of the baddest videos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. And the other thing that I really admire about is the Bob and Chad moments.
Yeah.
I usually like to get on there and at least throw a dumb comment in every once in a while, just to see if we can get Chad to smile. Bob's always like, "Oh, Bobcat." So I think that's really touched a lot of racers, and it's just one more thing. Like, I feel like there's a lot of us in the industry that answer their phones 12 to 15 hours a day. So for you guys to do that on top of it, is it once a month or once
every other week?
Once every other week. I mean, I think that's a huge thing. And what it does for the racers is just phenomenal, And I
wouldn't have given out so much free information, like just to be helpful, right?
Yeah. We started that in COVID. When COVID happened and we were all locked in our houses, Bob's like, "Hey, these other companies are getting together and talking about it. Why don't we do one and see what happens?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'm in. I'm game for anything that will help the industry." And that first night we got done, he's like, there was 300 people watching.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You want to do it again? So we did it again. And I think now we're on episode 145 or something.
So it was just crazy.
But it's awesome. And it doesn't seem like it's been 6 years, but that's great.
Right.
So
that is great.
We enjoy it. I mean, we help people, right? Like, there's some little things that obviously we can't set up your car because we aren't at the racetrack with you and whatever, but a lot of the general basic things, it's fun to help people with that, and that's why we keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh, we need to tell Chad about our unboxing idea.
Oh yeah. Kelly said she's gonna start it off for us. This was a conversation at the bar last night with me, Jonathan, and Kelly from Arrow, and she's gonna send us some stuff, and we have to open it on air. And she's like, whatever the t-shirts say or whatever, you gotta wear them. We're like, okay, this could be dangerous, but yeah.
But if you gotta
send us the Wehrs goodie bag, and we'll have Bobcat open that thing right on.
Wait a minute.
Anybody ever seen him in a thong?
I'll put a Speedo on. You guys don't want to see it, but I'll do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, if it says Wehrs on it, I'm sure he'll wear it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and one thing too, like leading back, I mean, you were one of the first people to jump on with us on this deal, and we greatly appreciate it, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. Yeah. We got a few episodes in, we're like, okay. And then Jonathan's like, hey, I got a hold of Chad. And then, you were like one of the first dudes, and we're the first commercial. So we're extremely grateful for that.
Yeah, no, it's happy to be a part of it.
you got any new products coming out here in the next few months? Are you guys working on anything, or is it just gearing up and getting ready to do some of your traveling events, the shows and races that you guys go to? I see you have a big part of the team here this weekend, and you haven't blown a truck up. Last year you blew a truck up on the way here, didn't you?
Yeah, we dropped the tranny right out of the truck in the building here and had to push it out the door.
Oh man!
Yeah. So that was gnarly. But no, there's a list of new products, and like we said before, the people in the industry that bring us ideas, it's led to a big list of ideas, and so Colby jokes about it. I think we make a part number a day, and I think we're between 3,000 and 4,000 part numbers. And the joke is like, it's just another part number. It just doesn't matter. We'll make it. That's the cool part about where we're at is like somebody may bring us an idea, and this is a small niche market, the racing industry. It's not like you're going to sell 1 million of something, right? There's only 40,000 racers in America,
right?
And you're not going to sell it to every single one of them. So that's why it's cool to have a tool or an idea that we can bring in, and whether we sell 10 or 100 or 1,000. It doesn't matter. Like the brand will survive if that doesn't sell,
Right.
So it's easy for us to bring something in and just add it to our arsenal. It doesn't have to survive. Like if you had a great idea, it's not going to survive on its own. It's probably not going to be a viable company, but in our brand, it'll help our brand.
Right.
And then that's why we take care of them people, because of the good ideas. So always working on new stuff. I think this year's catalog has 25-ish new products.
Yeah, do you think we could get my car in the catalog? It's been 5 goddamn years, and I haven't been in it one time.
That's the second time this weekend I've been yelled at about.
Yeah.
Colby is the marketing.
Colby? Well, then when we get down here, I'm going down there too, and I'll get a piece of that. Yeah, so man.
Yeah. So, no, the catalog's cool, and he does all that, lays it out. I mean, I'm telling you, them guys, they do such a great job. The videos that Justin and them guys put together, and the social media presence we have, and the marketing team that I got in place there, they're racers, they understand it, and it's awesome.
Well, even the commercial that that we played on here, and just some of the shots they got at Boone or the Dome or wherever else, it's pretty cool. Like those guys.
Although I think Dustin Jarrett did a better job than Jerry does on the voiceover. I'm kidding. I just have to say that. Just because I only said that because Jerry one-laned Beatrice last night. I don't know if it watched on, but
no. I didn't watch.
But no, those commercials are badass, and I think that's what separates. That's why I have my sister do all my social media stuff, because I'm not that good at it. That's right. You know what I mean? But what you guys do with the social media stuff it's phenomenal. I mean, it really is. The shit that they catch, and Jerry's commercial with at the Super Nationals, it is awesome. It's so awesome. Yeah, I know it is giving me chilies. So Jerry can suck it, pal. I was just at the Chili's saying it.
You got the chilies over Jerry.
I did get the chilies over Jerry. He's gonna be pissed about it, and I'm sure there'll be a Facebook post, but it's all right. We'll put Doug Johnson on him.
He'll be pissed, but right in here, he'll be happy.
He will. I told him, I'm like, we talk about Jerry every single episode. Just because you're not on. I mean, you're on here. You're just not physically on. Right?
So, Chad, I gotta ask. So, tons of success, but you've had to have had some, I don't want to say failures, flops, lessons, whatever. Do you have a timeline of you put something out there and you kind of see how it does, and do you have a cutoff that, well, it's just not working?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a handful of products, in 29 years that have failed or whatnot, if you will. And like I said, if it sells 10 a year or 1,000 a year, we don't have to worry about it too much. There is some things that trend out and are no longer necessary. So one we just discontinued was they made a door bar clamp rule. Somebody got hurt, and dirt cars don't have door bar plates on them, so they were letting them clamp in a plate of steel, and we made the clamp to do that. Well, now every chassis builder has realized that a car should probably have door plates,
right?
So that a person doesn't take a bar to them. So pretty much every chassis builder has put it in there now. So that clamp is basically obsolete. So we just discontinued that. So it's an evolution in trends and whatever. And so there are things that do go away. And we've had a couple that we quit making, And then somebody was like, that wrench was super cool. Why do you not make it anymore? Well, then that shock got more popular again, so we made that wrench again. So it's an evolution, and things kind of go up and down once in a while, and just kind of ride it out and do what the customer wants. That's what we've always done.
And rule changes, it's not something that I really thought about until we're just sitting here, but you could have a rule change that could alter your catalog of stuff that you sell. So
yeah, I mean, look at the IMCA rule change with the brake floater and then having to put the clamp on there, so that's really ramped our left rear clamp on brake, because generally we'd sell 250 to 300 of them a year, and now we've had to produce almost 2,000 of them in a matter of months to get all these IMCA cars converted over to the new rules. So there's challenges like that along the way that you don't foresee, and we're really good at overcoming that and adapting. And so it's been,
when it changes your forecast on what you probably have on the schedule, this comes out, you're like, oh, we gotta adjust some stuff.
And I didn't really get warned on that rule, and I maybe should talk to Brad about it.
I was going to ask that, like, do you ever get a heads up on something like that?
Most of the sanctioning bodies are pretty open with the manufacturers, and as a manufacturer, that's all we want is it to be forward. If you have a problem with a product, we'd like to know about it and talk about it and have a conversation, and all the sanctioning bodies are super good at that, and obviously they see the value in the brand and they want us to be a part of their series, and we love being a part of it. We love giving back, and we ask for that respect mutually on rule change stuff, and they're all pretty good about doing it. So awesome.
Yeah. When you guys get a new product and you start storming up an idea, what kind of timeline, do you bring your team in and just have a meeting and have a drawing that you draw up, and then it's like, all right guys, this is what's been brought to the table, this is what direction I'm like, are you the yes man, or is Colby the yes man? Because I really need to know that for my sponsorship in 2026.
I think I'm still the yes man, but I put a lot of the marketing decisions on Colby.
Yeah. He does a great job. I mean, he probably the best, in my opinion. I don't know how long he's worked for you, but he's just
3 years.
Just a good dude.
It was a no-brain hire, right? Like a racer, a marketing director for Wehrs Machine, race car driver. I mean, perfect fit, right? And like I said, there's a big list of products, and if we all collectively as a group talk about all these products, and obviously if you have something that's super, super cool and you're like, man, that's really awesome, people are gonna really need that tool, it's gonna make everybody faster, make their life easier, whatever it is, we escalate that, and then that goes to the top, and then we focus on that. Like, you take the tire smasher, for instance. We've seen the value in smashing the tire, so that kind of became our focus the end of last year, developing that machine, which is a massive 6-month project. Kind of like the spring smasher or so.
Oh shit!
To have that machine come from Braden Jury saying, I want a machine, to actually having it at Super Nationals, we debuted it at Super Nationals, was like a 6-month process. So wow. So you have massive projects like that, or you have Jonathan Logue wants a little wrench. Well, that's pretty easy to get that.
Right.
So, right. That's the cool part about the brand, right? You have something so simple as a little tool to a sophisticated tire smasher, and we have the team that can do that from start to finish. And so it's pretty awesome what it's turned into. They have a marketing team and sales team and manufacturing, and it's just wild.
How many CNC machines do you have in your shop?
We have 12. 12? That's all we can fit, or I'd probably have more. So yeah, we have a few other shops that do help us out, because we're obviously can't produce all these products with 12 machines. When you're talking about servicing almost 3,300 part numbers-ish, I think we're at, with 12 machines, and you're always out of something. And my goal in life is no back orders. I mean, if Jonathan Logue needs a part to go racing and I don't have it, he's going to go buy it from somebody else. And, so we try to have everything that we're going to produce. If we're going to come out with something, it's got to be on the shelf. And that becomes difficult. Like when you come out with something that's super cool and you sell it, and you got to ramp production. So,
right. The other thing I really admire about Wehrs Machine is the scratch and dent click button on the old web page. Okay? Like, that's pretty cool. Not a lot of places do that. They just kind of take that loss, right? I mean, just because that's when we build a car, we try to make it, everything that comes out of Wehrs Machine that I've seen it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get something unless I buy it off that scratch and dent that's messed up.
Yeah.
Or is it functional, or is it something that I get from you guys and I get it and I'm like, oh shit, I can't use this, I got to send it back. So I think as a manufacturer and using your guys' products, I think that's probably one of the biggest positives for me is that, I can call up there anytime, and anybody that I ever talk to on the phone is knowledgeable about what I'm asking, because I'm kind of a dipshit when it comes to that. And I have to have it dumbed down a little bit. And so when I'm talking to really smart people, I already feel dumb. And you guys really tune that right in for your old Bobcat's brains. So it's greatly appreciated. And I think I can speak and say that for a lot of manufacturers that call up and do business with you guys, just because it's so readily available, and there's always somebody there that knows, except Ella and Rhonda. Sometimes they want parts numbers, and I don't even know. I don't know the parts number, but they're even really good at knowing. If you give them a part number, they can they can get you fixed up without actually having to talk to the brain.
Yeah. So the real question is, do you think Chad can machine you a little violin that you can have, like a nice billet violin for you to play your song? Or
We didn't bring it.
I know. I'm
a little upset about it.
A little bit.
Because Chad can make anything. You guys know this.
Violin once in a while.
Yeah. You should. If you haven't caught the last couple episodes, it's like usually when somebody's bitching about something, and then it's got this weird little, I don't even know what it is.
Just a little tune to, to tune for your cheese and wine.
Right. Yeah, basically.
That's fun. Well, Chad, we appreciate you coming on. We'll let you get back so you can go keep an eye on the boys, see if they're selling stuff over there. But man, what a great show. Obviously, we appreciate everything you've done for our show and having us come in and do this, and this is awesome. And we wish you continued success in helping the races out.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys setting up here, and thanks for coming, and it's been a great day so far. So
maybe sometime we'll take a drive over to your shop. We could do a little on-site podcast.
A little drive? It's like 8.25 hours from Boone, eh?
No, 3.5 just to hop
from Boone.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Really?
Yeah.
You're only an hour away right now.
I think, didn't Jonathan, the last time we mentioned it, Jonathan said I could use some cheese.
Yeah.
Well, bud, yeah.
Hey, have you ever had a squeaky cheese curd?
As a matter of fact, I have.
No, I have. I've had the Ben Kroll actually sent us the. I don't know. They're round and
String cheese?
no. Well, it's like
Stick?
no, it's not stick. It's in a big bag, and it literally is like a bunch of worms.
Oh yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Cheese whips.
Cheese whips.
Whips.
Yes.
Call them whips.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had those, but
Pretty good?
oh, yeah. Ben goes, hey, might check the package that I sent you, and I'm like, you sent me rear ends, and there's just rear ends with the cover on them, He stuffed cheese and meat and everything in the tubes. I'm like, God damn, that's kind of creative. We ate the shit out of that stuff. Matt and I did. It actually sat in the shop for 2 days before we realized that there was cheese in the tubes, but we don't have that good of insulation, so it was fine because it's like 38 degrees in there at all times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought you guys were way oh, that's 141. You guys are a long ways from 141.
141 is like 4 hours from us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. We might have to go visit.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to take a field trip.
Oh, we're making a trip. I'd never done Wehrs. Sure, have a machine.
Love to have one.
That'd be awesome. It'd be very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, put it on the Google Calendar.
It's on the calendar. Yeah, we'll get her on there. We'll get her squeezed on. And I'm sure if we don't talk to you before then, we'll see you at the Harris Clash.
Yeah, super excited for that.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty awesome last year at Boone Speedway, and we'd love to be a part of that. Bob's been so instrumental in helping me in my career, and we work together so good, and just love being a part of that race. And I love a good Tuesday night special, man. It's electric.
Yep. And the trophies are awesome. They are. It's so cool that everything that gets put together for that event, and yeah.
Plus, I think Bob was happy to get home in a record time for him.
That's no shit. That's no shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think a lot of racers were. There's a lot of people that come that were from, a ways away, but I think a majority of those racers, like hour, 2 hours from that event. I think that's really what kind of stepped. I don't know, I had over 250 cars in 3 classes. That's insane.
We had some good feedback that it was, a good quick show, and
Right.
it was good. So we'll try to do it again.
I'll say.
Yeah. So, well, thanks, man. We appreciate it. Well, let's get back to the show, and we'll take another break. You're watching and listening to Watermelons and Wood Chips. We'll be right back.
At Moffitt's Ford, it's not just about selling cars. It's about taking care of our neighbors. For generations, families have trusted us for reliable vehicles, honest pricing, and service that feels like home. Whether it's a dependable F-150, a safe and spacious Explorer, or your next pre-owned vehicle, we're here to help you find the right fit. And long after you drive off the lot, we're still here with expert service you can count on. Stop by and see us today. Moffitt's Ford, home of the million-mile warranty.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Wood Chips, presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance, and Nate Kilwine, another guy that we talked to Chad here a little bit ago from Wehrs, and you guys are kind of the brains of this operation, right? You and Chad and Josh and Wehrs and Kevko, and man, what
where the brains come in. But
right. Well, you're putting the show on and giving the racers and the fans, and like we were talking off air, it gets people's mind back on racing and kind of kicks everything off.
Yeah, crazy. A little backstory on this deal. I think this is our 10th year that Josh and I had this dream 10 years ago, and we started a little show in Albert Lee, Minnesota, in the little armory building there.
Yeah.
And the people showed up and the vendors showed up, and we packed the place, and it was awesome. We can do this. And then as years went on, it's obviously become harder and harder, but we teamed up with Wehrs a couple years ago, and the guys there and the people they bring and have on staff to do the marketing, the social media. It's been a great partnership, and I'm really happy to see people showing up today, and it's a good show. I think we continue to build it, and I think we've done our part. Now it's kind of up to the racers to show up and support it.
Right, and it looks like, you guys have great vendors here. And like we talked with Chad, it's so specific to our area, right? So it's like a condensed version, so you get to see the people that, Jonathan was saying, he gets to call these people on the phone, but then he gets to see them face to face.
Right, and that's something we talked with Chad and a lot of the guys about. It's like, there's one thing with the internet and everything like that, and it's easy to click the button and order the part, but when you're like Jonathan, you got to build relationships with vendors like myself and your other vendors, and it's one thing to go there and shake their hand and build a connection. You don't do that over the internet. So that's one of the reasons we've done this. Obviously, yes, to get all the racers together and the vendors and the people. It's a good time, get everybody thinking about racing again, and hopefully the time frame's good right before the race season starts in our area. So I'm excited about where it's going, what we got going on. Always looking to make it better, but big thing is we've got the vendors here. Now we just need the people.
Yeah, and it's just, obviously the weather forecast for some probably, but honestly though,
We're all pussies. Like Nate said before we actually started, we live in Iowa or North Dakota or Wisconsin or Minnesota. We can drive in some weather, so I'm not sure why that deterred anybody. We got vendors here that flew in that aren't going to be able to fly out until Monday because of this weather and shit. But guess what? They still showed up.
Yeah.
For you, for the racers, for not just the racers, but for the vendors as well too.
Yeah. Means a lot to us that we did have a few people back out, but it does say a lot about the vendors we do have involved, to being loyal and coming at all expenses. So
no pictures.
That's a big deal to us.
Yeah.
And then we take a note on who's here and who's not. But
right.
A little bit of snow shouldn't really deter anybody. I think the weather is going to be later tonight, so
Yeah.
We should be good.
Yeah.
Well, you're 9 to 4 too, so it's nice. You get out, Aero Wheels. We talked about it a little bit. Have that little private party for all the vendors and stuff to
We
go
got
up.
to thank Kelly. That was awesome.
It was very awesome. The
That
pizza
was
was
great.
killer.
Yep.
The
Little live
cook-
music, little racing.
Yeah.
I think everybody was killing.
They were
Enjoying
rocking
each
Kev.
other.
Do you know who the band was? Because I did.
They were wearing Kevko shirts, so
Josh kind of put him up. That's Josh Ruby's buddy, Spencer Ram from Clear Lake, Iowa. He does a lot of stuff down there. Him and Bo, I think, is his partner on the beatbox, and yeah, they got really good music.
They did. I thought it was really cool that they passed around a sheet of what kind of songs.
Yeah.
I put "Gay Factory Worker" on there by Rodney Carrington. I never did hear that last night. But, so if you could have Josh relay that message for next year.
We'll put
But,
that.
I just thought it was great that they passed around a sheet. The music was good. The food was good. The venue was good. And then we got to go across the street to Miss Kathy's again, as always. And which that was good, but not so good, just because you could walk into the place.
just telling them about it. Like, we're trying to get outside, and then Bert Kreischer walks in, and everybody traps me and Jonathan. Josh somehow got outside.
I saw Bert and I'm like, out later. And then I ended up locked out of the whole rest of the night, basically. So it was
Probably saved yourself a headache, though.
I felt pretty good when I was this morning. So
Yeah, I had to rig my life out of there. He was liking the music, and we were having a good time. And I'm like, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock's gonna come real early for us.
Right.
Better get going.
Yeah.
So Nate, we talked about racing, getting ready to kick off. I'm assuming you're doing a little racing this year.
Yep, we're gonna still run the mini mods and travel around. Excited about that. What we got going on there. That class and series continues to grow. So some reason when we get to Boone, things don't go so well. So we're gonna take a year off there, but. No, overall, it's been a great class and really a good stepping stone for young drivers. Over the years of doing this, I've seen or saw, however you want to say it, a lot of talented people come through the ranks. Just your Jaden Larson, your Tyler Cater, your Tatum Hansen. Some of those drivers are on the USMTS and IMCA, Caden Rice, and in the sport mod, so it's a good stepping stone for those drivers. Also, it's guys that are a little bit older that are done spending tons of money and can get in there and go fast, affordable, and fun. So
Well, yeah, it is an affordable class, and you still, those things are hauling ass too.
yeah, and that's a scary thing. Not scary, but the cars are safe. But we are going extremely fast. And keeps guys' attention. Like anybody, we get big car guys in there all the time, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's a lot of fun," So that's cool part about it. It's fast enough to keep your attention, but it's also a good stepping stone for young drivers, and we work really hard about keeping it affordable.
How many cars do you guys have out there now?
So we just built our 200th car this year, so we're a little over 200 right now. So since we started, it's
That's awesome.
Yep.
I have heard a lot of things about. I love the stepping stone into the big car world.
Yep.
From a go-kart, it's like a smaller step to the big car from a go-kart, in my opinion. It's basically a big go-kart, right? But you got a 3-cylinder motor in there.
Yep.
I have put a body on. Landon Elliott had a car. Jake Elmquist's kid. Jackson had a car, so
You've got your hands on a few of them.
I've got my hands on a few of them, and I tell you what, the bodies are so goofy on them things. But then how everything is working with that rear suspension, and it's a very cool thing. But I have had a lot of people ask, when do we separate the old men from the kids? I know, because what's the age limit on that? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yep, so we have a 12-year-old age limit to race any series races where we're going to go chase points. Guys are coming weekly to chase a championship. We have a very large point fund that pays $2,500 to win, so we got that grabs some people's attention.
Holy shit.
So wow. It does, and so we want to make sure we have, adequate drivers out on the track at that time, and so forth. But with that said, at some of your weekly local tracks, we have opened it up to some younger drivers, 10, 11, we let the track and we let the parents decide if that young driver is ready to race, So I don't want to hold anybody back ever. from that opportunity. But
Right.
on our series stuff, we did put a 12-year-old age limit on there. But yeah, it's
Is there an age limit, like you can only be 12, it's just 12 and up, or?
yep, 12 and up. So I guess we kind of got sidetracked from your original question. We just need more people, and I don't really have the manpower to split the class. I have gotten get that question asked a lot. Okay, we need some different age groups. Well, we all know, track time on a big track is very hard to get, and I've been thankful to work with the people I have to give us opportunities to race on the big track, and they're not gonna have 2 classes go off here. So I really think that your driver is gonna learn a lot, and they can. And they'll learn more racing with the older adults, and they get them on the big track where you're, in the karting world, you're not necessarily doing the receiver, you're not knowing what's going on race control, you learn so much race craft.
Yep.
Being able to get out there on a big track setting, and yes, some people learn at a different rate, but it gives them that opportunity so they're ready when that next step is there.
Yeah, and definitely you can see getting somebody even just spinning laps on those bigger tracks, then when they do move up, like a Caden Rice jumps into Sport Mod, at least he's got the lay of the land, if you will. It might not feel the same in the car, but it's still...
Hey, I know where to go for staging. I know how we're going to go on the track. I know what I should be hearing in my receiver. And that's the biggest thing with these kids coming out of the karting world. They've never heard that in their ear, and that's the biggest thing. I tell young drivers, if you cannot hear in that receiver, please pull off the track. You're going to cause more problems than good. And now with the new Nitro B and stuff, and I really like the light on that. I put mine up where I can see it. I think it's a great tool that if my light's on in the receiver and I don't hear anything in my ear, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I know they're talking. So I love that about the new Nitro B receiver.
Good point.
That is a very good point.
Because if that light's on in my receiver and I can't hear nothing, my headphones are jacked up or something. So and you have to have that on in staging, and you can hear before you go out on the track. So it's just learning things like that that's going to make those drivers more ready when the time comes to move on to a new class or whatever.
I also think too it was very good for you to say that you've built 200 cars.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably thought that this series has been around for longer than what it has been. So it really kind of cleared up the fact that maybe some point when he gets some more cars out there and we gets more kids involved in the deal, you might be able to do that split class.
It's possible.
But it's also I kind of look at it this way too, is NASCAR guys, we got kids that are 18 years old racing against Jimmy Johnson, who's 50. I'm using him as an example. I mean, there's no, or Dale Earnhardt, there's no 2 different classes.
And that's where I've kind of been stuck on that, not having 2 classes, just because, hey, this is a stepping stone. When you're going to get here, you're going to learn so much. We're going to, take the brunt of the punishments per se. Hey, that's not how we do this, but, and get them ready, and the logistics of splitting the class is just really not there in my eyes. I do see both sides of it, but...
Oh, yeah, but I just think it more or less turned into, in my opinion, I think people just didn't know. Like, I didn't know, and I've known you for a few years now and knew that you were doing this whole Batwing thing, and I've told the guys 100 times, like, this is really awesome for the kids. Like, how do you get young racers involved? Well, this is like one of the best ways. Like they get to go and race with the big cars. We got to remember they are kids sometimes, and let's be for real. Some of the adults that are in that class, they don't listen worth a shit either.
Let's be honest here. Quite frankly, the one thing I hear is you have a lot of these, the Helmquist and so forth. These guys, their dad is racing or they're, whatever, and they're like, I want to get my kid into mini mod so we can go to the track together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the racetrack on this day, and then I'm going to try to go race here on the next day. Now they can, race together at the same track. So that's really appealing to some of the dads and the kids also too. So, now they're not going 10 different directions on one weekend. So that's been nice.
Jake Helmquist, just to bring him up as an example, he bought that car for Jackson. They're small enough; they just fit right in front of your big car.
Yep.
A lot of people. I mean, you can pick the damn thing up, 2 of you. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. And I believe the cockpits are the same size, almost the same size as a big car.
Oh, for sure.
Just like the dwarf cars. And I don't think a lot of people understand, and I didn't either until Landon had brought his car up and we started putting the cockpit and stuff in it. And I'm like,
just as much
my big ass can fit in here. Holy shit, you know?
Nice thing, you drop in for the top, and it's a little awkward, but once you do it a couple times, it's not so bad. I tried to get it in modified, and I'm like, oh my God, this is harder to get in than my mini mod. Right. You're trying to get around the seat, and you're like, but no, so yeah, just educating people, and I appreciate you guys giving me that opportunity.
Well, yeah, when did this deal start for you? When did you actually start, like?
Hey, it's a long story, but when I raced a big car modified back in the day, and then, you know, had a boy and kind of slowed things down. A group of guys got together and like, you know, we got to race something somewhere somehow, and we all kind of like to build our own thing. So we were dinking around in the backyard, and I don't know, it just kind of blew up from there. Started building cars, and it grew from there. But yeah, I think we started the series actively in 2010, so we're on 15 plus years.
Yeah. So. I didn't know that either. I mean, I didn't realize. But see, the other thing is that when you first originally started that, did that start up here in Minnesota? Yep. And you just kind of, now you've just, over the years, you've just reached out. Like we've had them at the Boone Speedway, we've had them at Stewart, we've had them. Have they been at Marshalltown?
Yep, a couple times at Marshalltown. Yep. Independence, Harlan. Now we're running every other week, kind of down to Harlan. So yeah, I got to give, you know, Mike Ben-Gitter and a lot of them guys credit for giving us a stepping stone opportunity to race cars in those areas. But yeah, back in the day, we kind of started on the karting track stuff, and cars were built with a 1-inch tube chassis, and then we started dabbling in these bigger tracks, and they're like, oh, we better, you know, we got to get this thing legit for a big track. So we went to an 1.25-inch tube car, and now they're all jig built through medieval and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of just assembling them. But
hey, how'd you get your race car number?
15. That's a good question. I just always like the number 15 for some reason, but I don't really have any reason or tie to that number. But
all right,
yeah, I just like 15, I guess.
So do you have any new tracks that you guys are going to take the series to this year?
Yeah, 2 new tracks.
You can elaborate on that?
Yeah, we're going to go to Vinton, down in Benton County.
Oh shit, the old dripper picking up the Outlaw Mini Mods. Now, if it's in the beginning of the season, there could be a couple ambulance rides over there. It's a little choppy at the beginning of the season.
I'd have to look at our schedule. I think we're later in the year. We're going to go to Independence on Saturday and then down to Vinton on Sunday. So I'm excited for that. I've never even been to that track. And then we're going to go visit Rice Lake Speedway up in Wisconsin. We had a practice there one time years ago, and the track is just like crazy banked and should be wild. But we got quite a bit of following up there, and guys that really want to see the class go up there. But just trying to find that track to, you know, put your foot down at, it's tough. So. But that one's exciting. Otherwise, we got the usual stuff on tap. Got a Summer Nationals tour where we run 5 nights in a row, and that's pretty grueling. Start at Stewart. I think we go to Algona, then over to Rock Rapids, down to Harlan, and back up to Mason City. So,
wow, that's a nice little
5 nights in a row. It's craziness, yeah. Sign kind of a circle, but not. But.
So your points deal, you have this points fund. It's just a schedule that you basically put out, kind of like what Boone Speedway's got here.
Yep.
Basically, and then those are, how many nights do you guys race a year?
18 races, and we're going to take your best 15 shows. If we rain out more than 3 races, then all 15 count. So if we get in more than 15, you can drop your worst one. So you kind of got 3 slough shows there if you get them all in. But yeah, we got 18 race schedule preset, no makeup dates, no nothing. I mean, if they rain out, they rain out. Just because it's hard for people to reschedule.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind of convenient, really. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, it's almost a full season. Like the big cars run a 24-night season.
Right.
You're getting 18 nights. Your guys' stuff, though, is not necessarily every week.
Right.
It kind of gives guys some breaks, and we've heard some things over the powerful internet that people are wanting to maybe race a week and take a week off. I am totally against that because I wouldn't have anything to do every Saturday.
Yeah.
But I mean, why do you do that?
just because times have changed,
Yeah.
People want to go on vacation. People have young kids, they want to go do something else. You might want to go to the lake. You might want to go to a concert. You might, it's just, we want this to be fun. And if you got to go every Saturday, it gets grueling. We all know it. It's tough. So we've tried to position these races on 1 to 2 weekends a month, so you have a few weekends off. There's still weekly racing to be done, so if you want to keep racing, you can, but if you want to chase the schedule, it makes it a little more appealing for people with families, people with a cabin, people that want to go on a vacation, something like that.
Yes. You guys listed?
You signing up? We got that rental. We got to get.
You got a rental?
Yeah.
God. If I get in a mini car, I don't know if my dad will talk to me for a couple weeks.
That's all right. You'll get out with the biggest smile on your face. You're like, damn, that was fun.
I'm gonna call you on Monday about that. Get me on the list.
Be selling Rage Mini Mods, unfortunately.
We'll have another shirt to sell.
Right.
No.
And to kind of shift gears, let's talk about Kevko a little bit. So you guys have been in the motorsports industry for as long as I can remember.
Sneak up on 40 years.
Yeah, that's wild. And kind of like Chad, we talked about, you guys seem to be adding products all the time as well.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about the drive shaft line that we've got going. It seems to be taking off. Just to name drop Jonathan Davenport, having great success. We're super excited to be teamed up with him. Got some drive shafts heading down the Longhorn. We're working closely with those guys. And obviously all the local people, we're not here to talk bad about anybody. I feel we put out a very nice quality product, fit and finish wise. I know when that drive shaft goes out the door, it's balanced meticulously, and you're gonna get a nice piece. And we're gonna stand behind it. If anything happens, we're gonna take care of you. Just like our oil pan stuff and breather tank, valve cover, body bracing, and
Yeah, but we use a lot of the Kevko stuff on our Rage stock cars. It is some of the nicest stuff in the industry as far as it's race. I love saying this. It's race car parts built by racers.
Right. Yep.
So to me, that is, craftsmanship creates horsepower. It's right here on the right front.
Right on the gun.
It's on the gun right here. And so to be able to work with a company like that does that stuff is awesome, because those are the people that I want to spend my money with, and people that have been in the industry for a long time. And so I think it's really cool, all these places. I don't know how you guys keep coming up with all this new different shit, but it's so cool, but it's also exhausting. Like, I am tired of the part numbers, tired of all the bullshit. Like, you guys just figure it out.
For 2,000 part numbers, and I can't even keep them all straight. Geez, but we're always got to try to come up with new cool stuff, and it's been a challenge, but it's been fun to build this over the last 10 years that I've been involved, and it's been good.
Yeah. Well, and obviously you have a good team there, and Josh is great to work with.
Absolutely.
And just a great guy, and your staff is
Key.
good people.
And we don't have a ton of employees, but we have good employees, and they take pride in what they do, and we all want to put out a good quality product. And Josh does a great job with everything he gets his hands on, and is does a very good job. So couldn't do it without him, and we work really well together. So
How many employees do you guys have up there?
right now we're sitting at about 8 people.
Okay.
So not a ton. You think about the product that we're pumping out. It's pretty exciting with not very many employees.
Right. Well, and I remember, and you don't have just race car specific stuff, like you guys have a ton of different oil pans for all kinds of different applications too.
Yeah, we got road race stuff. We're really big in the off-road world with these off-road buggies and trucks that race in the desert and so forth. And, Chevrolet, Ford, Mopar, we do it all. Drag racing stuff. So we got something for just about everybody. We're just obviously predominantly known in the circle track world, but we want, just so people know we do so much more than that.
Right. When we were talking to some of the other vendors last night at the the party and whatever, and we kind of were talking to them, and they're like, people don't realize that we actually do other stuff, like a lot of drag racing stuff, and asphalt, ARCA stuff, whatever. Just kind of, when you come to this deal, you're like, oh, yeah, you're circle track,
right.
But you guys do have some stuff.
Yeah, even make a pan for our little cars. So
No shit.
yep. But yeah, no, we do a lot of different stuff. A lot of racing products too, like you said, touched on earlier, the body bracing. That's kind of something fairly new, and just a nice quality piece that's user-friendly, adjustable. We can do custom stuff too. You say, hey, my rage is going to take this length body bracing. Can you cut them? And we can do that. So
I order them. That's great shit. It all bolts together. It's right. It's there in a day.
Yep.
It works good. I always like calling up and giving Josh a little bit of shit.
Yep.
And
It's good for him.
it is really good for him. Yeah. I remember. Well, he's retired. He's retired now.
Yeah, the car's not sold yet.
Oh, really?
I think he really thinks he's retired.
Yeah. Well, it's like I got to meet Josh at the Hancock County Speedway. Or we cut my teeth up there on Friday nights, and we always pitted right next to Josh. Great, just a great people. His whole team and everything that they do. So I'm
Very family orientated.
very family orientated, and God, it's just weird because he's like white, the center of his beard now.
Yeah, we've definitely
Shit, we're getting
aged him a little bit with this drive shaft deal, and we just moved locations. We better touch on that. So we've been in Fairmont for 20 plus years, and we just moved to a new location in Blue Earth, Minnesota, with a 17,000 square foot building. We really outgrew that place in Fairmont, and unfortunately there was just nowhere to build on or add or go. So we moved to a new location in Blue Earth, Minnesota that's going to be able to better serve or stock more inventory and just give us a little more room to spread our wings, especially with this drive shaft deal. And we're super excited to be there. So
How much bigger was it than your old building?
So our old building was about 7,000 square foot,
Oh,
and this
shit.
is so a little over double. But yeah, it's already seeming too small. But
That's
No,
I know that feeling. I
Yeah.
just bought a building too, and it's like, holy shit! I need
Fill it
like
up
another 40 foot. That's
Yeah.
great.
no, and we'd like to continue to bring more stuff in house. Like we outsource our powder coating and some other stuff, and it'd be nice to have everything under one roof. But one step at a time, and we'll get there.
When will you guys be moved into your new building?
We're in there.
Oh, you're already in
Yep.
there.
So we moved in December, kind of in our slow time. Thankfully, it all kind of worked out, and we're still getting organized, but we're up and rolling at the new place. So
Now, was this a brand new building you guys
No.
put up, or a building that you guys purchased?
yeah, purchased. That's what kind of took so long. Long story short, we've been trying to buy this building for 2 years, and it was in probate, and there was some other issues along the way, but we finally got it purchased, and we're excited to be in there. It needed some renovation, so that was,
Boy, that takes time and
takes
money.
time,
doesn't it?
yep.
Holy shit.
but pretty much gutted everything out and then re-tinned it and got the shop set up how we wanted with proper ventilation for our welder guys, and stuff that we didn't wanted to do it right for our employees and just for everything. Hopefully be there long term. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
No, we just appreciate you, giving us a spot here.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Seriously, it's been really cool seeing all the people come through and having a spot here and being able to shoot this, at the show is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate you guys having me on, and thanks for being a part of it. And look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll take one break, come back and close her out. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back, and we'll wrap this thing up on Watermelons and Woodchips.
Welcome to the Adobe Lounge located in Boone, Iowa at 915 West Mammy Eisenhower. Our hours are Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to close, Saturday and Sunday, noon to close. Come enjoy some of the strongest drinks in town and the best homemade pizzas around. Whether you're stopping in to relax, meet friends, or grab a bite, the Adobe Lounge is the place to be. See you soon.
Next segment is brought to you by Logue Fabrication, your go-to shop for custom metal fabrication. From residential and commercial projects to auto racing applications, Logue Fabrication delivers quality and precision every time. They're not just fabricators, they're racers too. Proud home to Rage Hobby Stock and Stock Cars you see tearing up Boone Speedway every week. Whether you need a custom railing, a commercial build, or race-ready metalwork, trust the team at Logue Fabrication to get it done right. Logue Fabrication, where craftsmanship meets horsepower. We can help you stand out anywhere with P1 Promotions, the home of P1P Canopy. From the racetrack to the ball fields to trade shows and beyond, our custom pop-up canopies are built to showcase your brand in style, with multiple sizes and full customization available. But we don't stop there. P1 Promotions also delivers custom rugs, apparel, sportswear, trade show setups, and even P1P custom awards that make an impact. You can see all we have to offer at www.p1pcanopy.com.
Well, race fans, we're about ready to wrap up here from the Midwest Motorsports Expo here in Rochester, Minnesota. Just have to thank Chad Wehrs, Nate Kilwine, Josh Ruby, all the people from Kevko and Wehrs that put this on. It's been a fun, eventful weekend. We had a little Moffitt's mayhem at the bar last night. And, a little bit. You know, we didn't really put out a question of the week. What ElmQuest Touring question of the week was, have you ever been in a bar or location that packed? And my answer is no.
Yeah. Definitely not. That's the fullest I've ever been in anything. So
Well, what was wild about it is that we went to Kathy's Pub, and then we go down to Lucky's to get a beer, and they're like, "Oh, we're at Captivity." But I fucked that up. I did capacity. God, you guys are dicks. So, and I'm like, really? We just came out of a place that looked like a fucking sardine can.
Right.
Really?
That's kind of what I thought.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and so now we got to sit outside?
I'm pretty sure they weren't worried about captivity at the other one. Because, yeah, there was a lot of people.
Holy shit. And I get there was an event going on.
Right.
But someday one of our events are going to be that packed.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. And I'll just say,
Hey, we were talking to Mike Bennett last night, and we were saying that we need to bring back the Midwest Race Fest that we had. And we had that car show and the bikini contest. And
I was a judge on that.
yeah.
It was great. It was great. I definitely think we can do that. I know a place we can host it at.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yep. Right.
I think that, I also think that we need to bring back Mrs. Super Nationals, the Queen deal.
I agree. I do.
Like,
I think that would
we do. Like, I just feel like it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I guess we just need to tell the lady or the gal or whoever it is, like, hey, you can't do the suck it thing, okay?
Is this shocker?
Or the shocker. Well, I mean, God bless you. A lot of people love that, but we just can't have it.
Right.
So let's be a little more disciplined here, ladies.
Right.
Always talking about the men being, out of line, but you women are just as nasty, so I don't even care. They're right, Kels. That's right. Yeah, why? It was a compliment.
Yeah. But hey, really cool event that we got to come down to or up to. And I think we're gonna beat the weather home, which will be nice.
That's the plan.
But man, you've been over here trying to sling race cars and
Buck's done a great job.
yeah.
I mean, he's totally not a talker, but I've been seeing him over there. He looks like he's been selling lots of rivets and body bolts.
Yeah.
Poor Sam's going to have to build a new car. I think I see the guy wanting to actually buy that one.
Yeah, I mean, it is for sale. It is for sale.
As is everything that Sam West has.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything is the Ferguson freight train. The only thing that car is missing is the freight train on it. But I think he's going to debut that baby here at the first in how many ever years practice here at the Boone Speedway.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Good deal. No, it'll be good. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out. This will come out the week before practice.
Yep. Is this the week before? It is the week before practice.
So yeah, March 28th we are having our open practice, 5 to 8.
I believe, yeah.
5 to 8.
Track will be open 5 to 8. We'll probably open up about somewhere between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So get everybody in the pits. And
So that'd be cool. Got all the weighted dirt that worked in.
Right. Yeah, we just want to go out there and practice it in and waste some of that good dirt and racing on a practice.
right.
But the people have asked, and I wanna thank you guys for pushing that and actually making it happen, because I think it's a very good way for the racetrack to make some money, to recoup some of that dirt back. Like we've talked about it on several podcasts. I mean, we're talking a lot of frickin' money on this dirt here. So, and it gives everybody at these racetracks a night to, like, are you gonna have concession stands open?
If we do, it's going to be real minor, like, because that's when a lot of the staff's going to come in, clean. They'll be there all day, like getting everything ready for the season.
Boys, I mean, what do you mean we're gonna have a practice for 3 hours and not have concession stands?
We're going to try, but here's the issue. The water isn't on right now, and we can't turn it on until it's not going to freeze at night. So we're watching the temperatures. If they jump up, I don't think we're going to have a problem. But
Well, why don't we try the burger thing out? We don't need water for burgers.
if we can make that happen, we will. I promise.
You guys heard him say it. We will.
If we can make it happen, we will.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just money you guys are losing out on.
I understand. I do.
I mean, it don't take water to run a fryer.
I'm all for it, but we got to clean them. Here's the thing.
Right.
At the end of the night.
Okay,
But yeah,
so everybody, I need you to send out that email that I have not been added to yet.
we're working on that.
I also haven't got my check yet. I'm pissed about that.
I'm figuring that out.
We need to make sure the radios are charged.
The radios is a big deal. We got to give it Tommy on that. Tommy's your guy. He's gonna have you one.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay, secondly, Jerry, fix the goddamn microphone out there so we can hear it in the pit area.
Well, Jerry,
Where's the switch where it turns from just grandstands to the pit areas? Where's that at?
that's a great question.
Is it, Cody? I know you know
No.
it is. What do you mean? Neither one of you know where it is?
Nope. It's we
You
get
can turn them down.
yes. There is. I don't know that it's a switch.
We're about really? Really?
Now she wants to come on.
She's about to stuff her mouth full of a bunch of Jersey Mike's meat.
Wow.
Anyway, so the practice at the Booth Speedway, the great thing, I'm probably not going to make it there unless Ryan Ziem has my car wrapped. Whoa, is that when we're actually going to do the thing?
That's what we're doing, the ass tattoo contest.
Okay, regardless, I'll be there without another wrap. So like, we almost got the body on it.
All right.
It's almost done.
Good.
But super excited about that. Now, the format on the practice situation,
Yes.
is that going to be, I mean, are we going to do mod lights, sport mods,
I would
stock
like-
car, or modified stock cars,
I
like
would
same
like
as what
to
we
do that.
always done, or are we going to do something different?
Oh, for the practice? I don't know. That's a good question.
We could try out this new format thing. I'd like to go and last all night.
I would like to do individual classes coming out together so that we can do timing together, like we did it in Norfolk or at Blackwater.
Right. Well, and if people don't understand that, okay, if you have your own transponder or you rent a transponder, which I'm assuming that from the way it sounds that Boone Speedway is going to have transponders there for you to rent for the practice event.
Yep, we will.
Gels. I didn't know you could go that big. Jeez. But anyway, the transponders we're gonna have there, the Speedway's gonna have there, so you can see what kind of lap times you're putting down.
Oh yeah.
Now the reason we can't mix those classes is I learned this at the the Blackwater Speedway, is because when you rent that transponder out and you guys pull up the MRP or whatever that is specifically for modifieds or specifically for stock cars.
To get it into my race pass so that you can see the breakdowns, we have to put you in your individual classes. There is a way that Colton can actually run, it's called all competitors, all classes, where it just shows all the times, but then you have to actually be on the timing software in order to see it. So there's a way to do it, but this one gives everybody the free access on MRP. So that's why we like to do it this way.
And is it going to be a $20 pit pass to get into the Booth Speedway, or is it going to be $25? Come on, give us 20.
It's going to be 30.
Jesus,
But No car fees, just $30 pit pass. Just anybody that comes into fits, because we do have to pay a full insurance night for that night. So
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Ambulance.
But we're still ambulance. The ambulance will be outside. That's good. Oh yeah, that's good. Yep. So that on a regular week, I haven't asked this yet, but on a regular night, we're still staying $30 to rebut pass.
yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. See a lot of tracks are going to a 35.
Yep.
Boone has always been the cheapest pit pass buy.
Yep.
I mean, remember when they were $15?
Yes.
Like
When he remember when they were 12.
he stayed at. I was just gonna say it went 12 to 15.
Yes.
To
15 forever.
forever.
Yeah, and it went to 20 shortly. Then it was at 25 for a really long time.
Right.
So
Is there going to be a mulligan draw for the practice?
we could rig one up, but only for the ass tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah, because we should probably figure out the order of how that's going to go, and I suppose it'll have to be your draw.
Here's the next thing. Are we going to do that little deal in the middle of the practice, or are we going to do it after? Well, I think if we do it after, we're going to have a lot of walkthroughs.
That's what I think we should do is after. And I can see Cody's anxiety go crap.
Sorry, Michelle, but not sorry.
Yeah. And
But I think he's got a chance at beating G.
I think so.
I really do.
And
Like,
Colton Nelson too. He hadn't turned a lot of laps, so
Right.
it's going to be fun. I swear. I know you're pretty confident, bud, but I'm going to try and give you a run for your money in your own shit.
Here's the thing. Here's what I really think we should do. I think that we can talk Buck or Jimmy, or it's probably going to have to be Todd. I'm not that skinny. Josh and I are going to have to be in my car.
Big car. Yep.
But I think we can get another car and we can do
Sam?
two. You know what I'm saying?
Sam's got a skinny one.
Or Garrett Korn might be there.
Ooh, a little King of the Hill action almost.
Well, no, not King of the Hill. Just two at a time.
On the track at the same time.
On the track at the same time, because then it kind of gives you. I mean, that way you guys can follow me.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I'll definitely be following you. I don't know. I was doing a try.
No, you and G will be out there time.
Yes.
And Josh and I will be out there, and then we'll squeeze Johnny Forklift in. And if anybody wants to get in on this, it's a $100 deal.
This is really. Something's got lots of the tattoo.
Plus an ass tattoo. The ass tattoo that we've decided on is Peyton Taylor's Joe Exotic with the Bobcat standing next to him that Chris Cox put on there with the kitty thing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
With the cane and all that shit.
And Jonathan's saying this because the one that cuts the fastest lap, they get to decide what the ass tattoo is.
Right.
So he's been thinking about this a lot.
For weeks.
Right. Yes. It might be, you might have this underneath it as well. Like the old logo.
Right.
I mean, nothing, that probably has to be part of it anyway, but yeah, no, we're excited for it. The practice will be nice. I do think we'll have a good, hopefully the weather's nice and we get a good turnout. If it were to get shut down, canceled, whatever, we will pick a nice night and we'll get Rod and Sarah out there and Colton and we'll have a little private tune session.
You're gonna pick a night. Okay.
If the practice
If the practice gets canceled, there will be no reschedule on the practice.
correct, right. But there will be a reschedule on the ass tattoo thing because it's happening.
He is persistent.
Somebody's is a needle in their ass, and I'm excited about it.
That's not me. Might not show up.
Oh, you'll show up. I know.
I'll find a wrestling tournament that weekend or something.
That's why it'll be like a Tuesday night.
Oh, Bob, right in, bud. You ain't making battle. Just saying. You're coming.
It's happening.
No, but hey, on that note, we do want to thank and appreciate everybody. You know, obviously, Central Iowa Diesel Performance, Adobe Lounge, Moffitt's Ford, Performance Bodies. Ever us say something about them last week? It was awesome hanging out with the guys last night from Performance Bodies. We talked more about what we're gonna do with that trophy and the drone interview and stuff, so that'll be cool. Elmquist Towing, obviously Wehrs Machine. Who else am I forgetting? I don't know.
Think you about got her covered.
Yeah, so it's in
Logue Fab,
P1P Canopy. So no, we appreciate everything. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
and
pretty good time.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap her up.
Time to beat the snow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's no kidding.
Thank you guys for watching, listening, all the things. We'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe.
That's right.
I've been talking to a lot of people that haven't been subscribing. You're on your goddamn phone all the time. Just hit the subscribe button.
If you're watching it, just hit the subscribe button.
Right down here.
It doesn't cost a thing.
It's free.
Yes,
So,
for sure.
but thank you guys. Until next week, you've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll see you.